Just started university, and my beautiful tutor turns out to be the mother of my child. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 326, Fragile in Lan. After dinner, go home. After this incident, the baby's relationship has improved a lot. Back home, the babies played for a while and drank some milk. After tossing and turning on the bed for a while, they fell asleep. On this day, Lan came to visit in a hurry and said that she wanted to eat a meal made by Lin Feng. It has been a long time since they last met, and Lan has lost weight, which scared Zhang Yuxi to death. Lin Feng was also shocked. What's wrong? Lan cried to Lin Feng with tears in her eyes. Lin, don't talk anymore, hurry up and get me something to eat. Whether I can survive depends on you. The tone of his voice was as if he was going to die, which scared Lin Feng and his wife. Liu Bo's brows have never been relaxed since he entered the room. He explained that since Lan found out that she was pregnant, she had a strong morning sickness reaction. She vomited everything she ate, and she hadn't had a proper meal for many days. Lan's mother felt sorry for her daughter and said that morning sickness was normal. Some people vomit for 1 or 2 months and then get better, while others vomit throughout their pregnancy. It all depends on their physical condition. There is no way to help with this, you can only eat as much as you can. Because of this incident, Lan took her anger out on Liu Bo and beat him up. Now Lan has handed over the business of the store to them. She really couldn't stand the smell of those greasy smells. Later, it became more serious. She would vomit and feel sick when she smelled it. She couldn't eat anything greasy, and could only eat light food. Now it's better, but light food is not okay. She vomits everything she eats. Lan doesn't know why. The more it's at this time, the more she wants to eat the food cooked by Lin Feng. She is very greedy. So, she rushed over early in the morning and asked Lin Feng to make delicious food for her. At this time, the children haven't gotten up yet. Lin Feng cooked vegetable porridge and glanced at Lan. He fried a single-sided egg in a non-stick pan without oil. Then he took out the soaked radish in the jar and cut it into cubes. The radish is bright red and tastes sour. It tastes crispy and is especially delicious. Lin Feng served it to Lan, who was looking at her eagerly. Eat. Lan started eating without saying anything. Soon, the bowl of vegetable porridge was empty. Liu Bo and Lan both breathed a sigh of relief. Lan hugged Zhang Yuxi and complained, so miserable. Yuxi, I have it so hard. I have only had such a full meal in so many days. You don't know how I have survived these days. I wanted to go to the hospital several times, but I couldn't make up my mind. I have it so hard, I am so pitiful, woo woo woo. At the end, Lan really cried. The experience of the first pregnancy was not good at all, it was too painful. Lan is a foodie. Zhang Yuxi looked at her haggard face and was very worried about the health of adults and babies. Coaxing her, don't cry, you eat at our house and take good care of your body. Lan cried, and fell asleep while holding Zhang Yuxi. Liu Bo sighed, seeing her suffer like this, I don't want her to give birth. The one who vomited, she was still retching after vomiting. It was very uncomfortable for a grown man to say this. Lan couldn't eat or sleep well during this period. She couldn't eat even if she was too hungry. She was tortured so much that she cursed Liu Bo whenever she caught him. She said he was a bastard and the baby in her belly was probably a son. They were not good people. But no matter how angry she was, Lan persisted. Liu Bo carried her to the guest room. Because of Lan's arrival, the decoration of the children's room for the babies had to be shelved. After the babies woke up, Lin Feng explained it to them. They thought it was so magical that there was a baby in their godmother's belly. Then there will be a younger brother or sister. So, they said they had no objection. Lan slept until the afternoon, which scared Liu Bo half to death. After taking her pulse, Lin Feng said lightly, it's okay, just a little weak and tired. Liu Bo breathed a sigh of relief, but something was wrong. Brother Feng, can you take a pulse? Lin Feng nodded, I know a thing or two. Lan woke up at dinner time. She had slept for almost a whole day. Even she herself found it incredible. She hadn't slept so soundly in a long time. After stretching, Lan felt much more energetic. I'm so hungry, Mr. Lin. Is there anything to eat? Lin Feng made a nutritious meal for her alone. and Lan was so moved that she almost cried. Then, she really cried. The three of them looked at each other and were all shocked. Zhang Yuxi coaxed Lan and explained, pregnant women are very sensitive and fragile, and sometimes they will make a fuss. Liu Bo understood this very well and coaxed Lan. Wife, stop crying, let's eat first. And Lan got angry all of a sudden. You bastard man, get out, who is your wife? We haven't got a marriage certificate yet, okay? Don't think that having a child can hold me back, I'm telling you in my dreams. If it weren't for you, would I have suffered this? You men have had your fun, and you let us women suffer? Why? Woo woo woo. Liu Bo was so scared that he didn't dare to say a word. Lin Feng felt that he was also implied, and didn't dare to say a word. He winked at Zhang Yuxi. Wife, I leave this to you, I'll go make food for the children. The babies were curious, worried and scared when they saw Lan crying. Sanbao asked with concern, Dad, why is godmother crying? Lin Feng thought for a while. She cried because of the injection. Sanbao said, it turns out that godmother is also afraid of injections. Sanbao is also afraid. When it comes to injections, the babies are all scared. The eyes looking at Lan are all sympathetic. Lan was still aggrieved in Zhang Yuxi's arms, and became a whimpering monster. Zhang Yuxi couldn't stand it anymore and said sternly, okay, stop crying. The food is getting cold. Lan, who had just stopped crying, cried sadly again, accusing Zhang Yuxi of being heartless. Yuxi, you don't love me anymore. I'm not your little cutie anymore, am I? You said you loved me the most before, have you changed your mind now? We are from the same roots, why are we so anxious to hurt each other? Why do women have to make things difficult for other women? Love will disappear, right? No, love will not disappear, it will shift. You don't love me anymore, you love General Lin. Woo woo, even you don't love me anymore, I'm so pitiful. Zhang Yuxi felt that Lan was like this, and she had to be considerate no matter what. She took a deep breath and coaxed her. My dear baby, I love you the most. I'm just afraid that the food will get cold and it will be bad for you to eat. Aren't you hungry? Come on, eat quickly, I'll accompany you. Lan said coquettishly, then you feed me. Zhang Yuxi widened her eyes, I feed you. Lan nodded, yes. Zhang Yuxi asked cautiously, how about I let Liu Bo feed you? As a result, Lan's face suddenly changed. Don't mention this culprit to me. Zhang Yuxi was startled, okay. Chapter 327 I want to give myself to you. Since the babies were about 9 months old, she had not fed them much. Seeing tears on Lan's face, Zhang Yuxi patiently fed her. After Lan finished eating happily, she went to play with the babies happily again. Sanbao asked, Godmother, does it still hurt? Lan didn't understand, what hurts? Bao interrupted, it's the injection. Dad said you cried during the injection. Lan said, yes, it hurts. Sibao looked at Lan's belly, Godmother, is there a baby? Lan nodded, yes, do you hope it's a brother or a sister? Brother, sister. Boys want brothers, girls want sisters. Lan was worried, I don't know what to give birth to. As she said that, Lan's mood began to decline again. I hope my child can be as obedient as you. If he's naughty, I will definitely beat him. Well, it would be better if he is as cute as you. I will hug him and kiss him every day, and I will be so happy. But with Liu Bo's behavior, who knows how good-looking his child will be? Zhang Yuxi asked Liu Bo in a low voice, was it like this before? Liu Bo nodded, yes, it's serious. It was as if his breathing was wrong. Whenever he was unhappy, he would call him a dog man. Whenever he was happy, he would call him husband, sweet honey. It was terrible. Liu Bo was almost nervous because of Lan. He felt sorry for Lan and himself. Lin Feng asked Zhang Yuxi, is this the case when you are pregnant? Zhang Yuxi shook her head, no, it's quite normal. The appetite is still okay. Lin Feng couldn't help but feel fortunate, the babies are so good. Lan muttered for a long time, yawned and went upstairs to go to bed. Why are you still standing? Coax the baby to sleep. I don't know who this sentence was addressed to, Liu Bo or Zhang Yuxi. But judging by the angry tone, it should be said to Liu Bo. Liu Bo followed him, but was driven down in less than 5 minutes. He was probably scolded. Well, I'm leaving first. Lan is in your hands. Please take good care of her. Sorry to trouble you. Zhang Yuxi asked tremblingly, are you leaving? Liu Bo nodded, She told me to pack up and get out. Zhang Yuxi and Lin Feng looked at each other. Liu Bo just got out. In the next few days, Lan ate and slept, and still wanted Zhang Yuxi to feed her. Because she felt that she was still a baby. Pregnant women are the most important to be patient. Exclamation mark. Next, Zhang Yuxi returned home to take care of Lan, the big baby. Lin Feng took care of the children. Except for Lan's occasional weird implication on Lin Feng, everything else was fine. Zhang Yuxi can just coax her. Occasionally, when Liu Bo came, Lan would scold him. Don't you love me anymore? You've been gone for so many days. You didn't even reply to my phone or WeChat? What does that mean? Liu Bo looked like he was struck by lightning, and said blankly, I called you and you hung up. I sent you a message and you didn't reply. Lan was stunned. Did I? She looked at her phone and it was true. Lan turned her head and threw herself into Zhang Yuxi's arms for comfort. Yuxi, what do you think I should do? They say that pregnancy makes women stupid for 3 years, and I'm stupid now. Zhang Yuxi coaxed her. Who said that? I'll be fine after your period is over. Lan actually didn't like herself now. She was too pretentious, too emotional, and her mood swings were too big. She could magnify even the smallest things infinitely. But she couldn't control it, and her emotions came and went, and she couldn't control them at all. In fact, Liu Bo was also worried. If Lan was not in good condition, it would be bad for both adults and children. He checked online and found people who were more exaggerated and weird than Lan. She was not the weirdest one. After coaxing Lan to sleep, Zhang Yuxi felt a little tired. She was worried. What if Lan is always in this mood? Now Lan is the big baby of the family. Zhang Yuxi is the nanny, who has to take good care of the 2 babies. At night, after Lan fell asleep, Zhang Yuxi felt a little amused. This girl even asked me to tell her a bedtime story, and Anton called to thank me. Lin Feng has been used to Lan's capriciousness during this period of time. The children are also used to it. With Lan, the big baby, making trouble all the time, the children have become obedient. Lin Feng was reading a book, and Zhang Yuxi mentioned Liu Qing to him. I was a little uncomfortable in the first few days, but now I'm used to it. I asked around, and the classmates' response is good. Lin Feng put down the book. Wife? Can you care about me when you have time? Zhang Yuxi was surprised and asked, Husband, what's wrong with you? Lin Feng came over. You've been focusing on Lan recently. Zhang Yuxi was probably used to coaxing, so she just opened her mouth. I didn't mean it. You know Lan's situation is special. Come on, kiss me, don't feel wronged. It will be fine after this pain passes. Thank you, my husband, for making nutritious meals for Lan in different ways every day. Lin Feng asked sullenly, then how do you compensate me? In fact, making nutritious meals for Lan is not hard at all. Nutritious meals for pregnant women and children are the same, just one more portion is made. Seeing his wife so soft and cute now, he thinks he should do something. Zhang Yuxi coaxed him, then what kind of compensation do you want? Lin Feng suddenly became energetic. Anything. Zhang Yuxi nodded shyly. In a blink of an eye. It was over at the end of October. Lan stayed with Zhang Yuxi for almost a month. On the day of the end of the month, Lan's illness was cured without any warning. Today is Friday. Zhang Yuxi changed classes with other teachers and had no classes all day. I was discussing with Lin Feng to take the babies out for a walk on Saturday and Sunday. Take Lan out as well. How can you eat and sleep all day without exercise? As they were talking, Lan got up. She actually got up before noon, and everyone couldn't help but look at Lan. Lan yawned, and she looked very energetic. She also greeted Lin Feng and others with a smile. Good morning, everyone. Pregnant women are moody, so no one noticed the change in Lan. Until, she didn't even ask Zhang Yuxi to feed her. Oh my god. She has been a nanny for almost a month, and saw Lan eating by herself. She felt like her daughter had grown up, and she was excited and relieved. Lan had no idea what Zhang Yuxi was thinking. She smiled and said to Lin Feng, Mr. Lin, I want to eat pickled fish and pork elbow. Lin Feng asked her calmly, aren't you afraid of getting sick of it? Lan thought for a while, I'm not afraid, but I get hungry just thinking about it. I want to eat so much. Zhang Yuxi glanced at Lin Feng. Lin Feng nodded, okay, I'll go buy it now. Lan looked grateful. Boss Lin, thank you. If you didn't have a wife, I would have wanted to marry you. Zhang Yuxi looked angry. What the hell, what are you talking about? Do you think I'm dead? And Lan was stunned for a moment and slapped herself. Yuxi, don't mind it. I was just joking, just joking. Zhang Yuxi knew that she had been talking without restraint during this period, and thought that this was the root of her illness. Chapter 328 And Lan is getting better. After a while, Lin Feng bought 3 fish. 2 perches and 1 grass carp. While Lin Feng was processing the fish, he waved to Lan to come over. And Lan was puzzled. Yuxi was right next to her. Why did you ask me to come over? Really? Lin Feng pointed at the fish and asked, smell it, is it smelly? And Lan was stunned for a moment. No, it was still alive and kicking just now. How could it be smelly? Lin Feng looked at her and didn't say anything. And Lan couldn't figure out what Lin Feng was thinking, so she lowered her head and smelled it. It doesn't stink. There's no peculiar smell, isn't that what fish smell like? Lin Feng looked at her. And Lan was a little confused and smelled it repeatedly. No problem. Zhang Yuxi was as happy as a child. And Lan, are you not sick anymore? Are you not uncomfortable? And Lan was stunned for a moment. Fuck, yes, I'm not sick anymore, and I'm not uncomfortable anymore. Oh my god, I'm fine. But Lan still didn't let herself go and confirmed it again. Come on, cut me some sashimi, let me taste it. So cruel. Lin Feng had already prepared it and cut a thin slice with a knife. And Lan hesitated, ate a few bites and then vomited. No problem. I don't feel sick at all, I even think it's delicious. Just like that, and Lan got better without any warning. At noon, she ate a lot of pickled fish and fish heads. After eating, Lan hugged Zhang Yuxi and sighed. Yuxi, it's true friendship in times of trouble. You are worthy of being my best friend. Thank you for taking care of me selflessly. And Lan now thinks back to her past. So shameful, so speechless, so pretentious. Zhang Yuxi felt a kind of joy after suffering. Lin Feng has called Liu Bo and asked him to come and pick him up. Liu Bo rushed over without stopping and entered the house with trepidation. Seeing the smiling Lan, he was a little panicked. Wife? And Lan grinned. You're here? What for? Liu Bo said readily, I came to see you and the baby. And Lan pulled him and said excitedly, I'm telling you, I'm fine now, normal, not nauseous, not acting up anymore. Liu Bo nodded, that's good, that's good. Then he asked very uncertainly, really? Are you fine? Not feeling bad anymore? And Lan said proudly, I'm really fine, I had pickled fish for lunch, and a few bites of sashimi. And Lan has changed, but her memory is still there. She also knows that this January, Liu Bo is a nose, not a nose, and an eye, not an eye. She feels guilty, but she doesn't say it. She'll show it with actions in the future. Liu Bo was about to cry with joy, and he was so happy hugging her. After dinner, the family happily sent Lan away. Zhang Yuxi hugged Lin Feng. Hubby, I finally made it. Lin Feng was a little amused and coaxed his wife, my dear, you have worked hard during this period. But Zhang Yuxi said, hubby, you must have worked very hard to take care of the babies. She was exhausted coaxing such a child. And Lan got better. The whole family felt that the sun was shining and the flowers were blooming. And Lan, the Liu family's worries were finally put to rest. That day, photos were posted in the class group. Some of the flowers that the babies brought to school have sprouted one after another, and some have grown very tall. This is the first time that the babies have had the joy of a good harvest since the start of school. Afterwards, Teacher Li added everyone in the group. In November, the school will arrange an autumn outing for the small class. After the autumn outings for the large and medium classes are over, it will be the turn of the small class. The autumn outing is scheduled to be around the beginning of November, but it depends on the weather. I hope parents can prepare in advance. This is an autumn outing, and the teachers in the class are responsible, and parents do not need to accompany them. Many parents in the group expressed their concerns. Teacher Li's answer was, that's why we have to take the students in the small class out alone, not with the middle and large classes. Parents, please trust our teachers. We will take good care of every baby. Some parents spoke up in the group. Since you have handed your child to the teacher, you have to trust the teacher. Although Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi were a little worried, they also believed in the teacher. This wait lasted until mid-November. Teacher Li said in the group, the class will organize an autumn outing tomorrow. Gather on campus at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and wear school uniforms. When parents prepare food and water for the babies, don't take too much, as the babies will be tired carrying them. Don't wear sports shoes, it's not convenient for the babies. We will return to school around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and parents remember to pick up the babies. As soon as the babies got in the car, they rushed to tell Lin Feng about the autumn outing. They were all very excited. Lin Feng smiled and said, "Really? The whole class is going." The babies nodded, but they also felt sorry that their parents couldn't go. Lin Feng comforted the babies while driving. "After your autumn outing is over, let's go out again as a family, okay?" The babies were happy again. When they got home, Lin Feng told them, "Put your school bags away first, then go wash your hands, use hot water, okay?" Every time they got home from school, Lin Feng would tell them like this. When the babies got used to it, he wouldn't have to nag them anymore. In order to make it easier for the babies to wash their hands, Lin Feng specially installed a sink in the bathroom. When the babies came out after washing their hands, Lin Feng, who was busy in the kitchen, said, "Here are some cookies baked by Dad, eat some, to fill your stomach." The babies said thank you very well. "Please with your mouth, thank you with your mouth closed," it has almost become their mantra. After a while, Zhang Yuxi came back. Smelling the smell, "Honey, it smells so good." Coming to the kitchen, Zhang Yuxi looked to see if there was anything she could steal. Lin Feng pointed to the sweet and sour pork tenderloin on the plate. Zhang Yuxi took a bite happily. "Honey, you've worked hard, can we eat now?" "Go wash your hands, we'll be eating soon." Zhang Yuxi happily went to wash her hands and eat. "Every day when I come home, there are hot meals waiting for me. That feeling is so happy." Looking at the whole family waiting for dinner, Lin Feng felt a little funny. The babies pulled Zhang Yuxi, one by one like chirping birds. They were talking about nothing but the autumn outing. Zhang Yuxi listened patiently for a while. "That's good, have fun tomorrow. You must take good care of yourself, and also take good care of your younger brothers and sisters, brother and sister, do you understand?" The babies nodded. After dinner, Lin Feng asked Zhang Yuxi to take the babies to bed. He has to prepare lunch for the babies tomorrow. It has to be small, but also enough for the babies to eat. This needs to be figured out. Bake bread, roast some dried vegetables, and make some meat rolls. Then bring a bottle of milk, enough for the babies. Well, the fourth and first treasures are both foodies, and the second treasure also has a big appetite. I have to do more. Chapter 329, Baby's Autumn Outing. The next day, Lin Feng got up at 6 o'clock. He baked small breads for the babies. Because they were light, they were all packed in a small bag. There were more than 40 in it, so the babies could eat one at a time. In addition, he packed 2 dried purple sweet potatoes and dried carrots. He also made chicken rice balls and wrapped them in tin foil. Finally, they ordered the room temperature fresh milk. It was a small bottle, enough for them to drink. After Lin Feng distributed it, he waited and felt it was not heavy, so he asked the babies to carry it. "Is it heavy?" The babies shook their heads. Sanbao was stronger, so he put an extra bottle of fresh milk in his bag. Sanbao had a small appetite and was not strong. So Lin Feng specifically told her that when it was time to eat, she should eat the food in other people's small school bags. Sanbao was a sensible and obedient child. Then, the couple sent the babies to school together. There were 4 classes in the small class, and each class had about 30 students. Among them, the most eye-catching baby had a heavy school bag and was holding food in his hands. Finally, Teacher Li communicated with the other party, and after deleting and reducing, the baby was relieved. Zhang Yuxi sorted out clothes for her daughter. "Take care of yourself, Mom will wait for you to come back." After the gathering, the babies took the car and set off. Do you think that if the baby doesn't come back for lunch, it will be fine? The children's room at home is still waiting for decoration. Because Inlan was at home before, no construction had started. After she left, the construction started one after another. They are all Boss Luo's people, and they have all done work for Lin Feng. At noon, after the babies take a nap and go to school, the workers come to decorate. When the babies come back, they will leave too. Boss Luo still calculates them according to 1 day's wages. It is estimated that the 3 rooms will be renovated for about a month, and they will definitely be used during the Chinese New Year. Lin Feng also prepared the workers' meals at noon. One by one, they wolfed down and said that they were delicious. After returning to the room, several people began to talk about Lin Feng, and after a comparison, I found that reincarnation is really a technical job. Some people, the gap is too big, there will be no unbalanced thoughts in their hearts. That place is beyond your reach, how can you have any associations? Lin Feng went upstairs to give them water and cigarettes. On the other side. After getting off the bus, the babies lined up and went hand in hand for the autumn outing. Because the babies are all in the small class, they are too small to be compared with the middle and large classes. The amount of activities in the autumn outing cannot be large, and they cannot go far. For the children, everything is so curious. After getting off the bus, carrying small school bags, they came to the suburbs under the guidance of the teacher. Bao has her loud voice, and almost the whole class can hear her when she opens her mouth. She talks a lot, and it's not ordinary. Bao and the children held hands and recalled the trip to the countryside. I saw a big and smelly pig. The children next to her were stunned. It's so big, are pigs cute? Bao recalled and shook his head. Not cute at all, so big, and moving around like this when eating. In the past, in videos or photos, pigs were so cute. Bao saw that his deskmate didn't believe it, so he quickly called Sibao. Brother, is Hushu very ugly and smelly? Sibao picked a wildflower on the roadside and put it on the little girl next to him. The little girl smiled sweetly. Thank you. This little girl to Sibao is very sweet. He heard what Bao said and answered loudly. Yes, it's very ugly and smelly. Most of the children here have never seen a country pig. Their love for pigs was greatly reduced. After walking and playing along the way, they came to an open space. Teacher Lee asked the children to put down their school bags and play eagle catches chicken and drop handkerchief together. The babies were so happy that they smiled like angels. After the end, the teacher put a sweat towel on each of them and let the babies rest. Then we can have dinner. Most parents prepare milk and various breads for their babies. It is convenient and easy to use, and the babies don't feel heavy when carrying them. It's actually nothing to let the babies eat these occasionally. Only a few parents prepare very carefully for their babies. The most outstanding ones here are Lin Feng's babies. There are rice balls, vegetables, milk, and bread. And 2 cherry tomatoes for each person. The rice balls made by Lin Feng are only the size of the little guy's fists, and they smell very fragrant. Teacher Lee wiped their hands with wet tissues. Eat. The babies around looked at their bread and milk. They suddenly felt that they were not fragrant. Lin Feng did not make much to begin with, according to the baby's appetite. The teachers were worried that some parents would not prepare enough for the babies. So they specially prepared a few lunchboxes for the babies to have extra meals. Are there any babies who are not full? The teacher has food here. The 4th baby, who had just finished eating, ran over. The eldest baby followed closely behind, staring at the food in the teacher's hand. The 2nd baby, who was not afraid of trouble, also came over. The teacher. The other children also gathered around. Some were really hungry, and some just wanted to see if there was anything delicious. The lunchboxes prepared by the teachers were distributed to the babies. Here, the class group teachers would update the status from time to time. Seeing the innocent and cute smiles of the babies, the parents' hearts softened. In the afternoon, before 5 o'clock, there were parents waiting to pick up their children. Buses slowly drove in, and one baby got off, and the parents took one. Goodbye, teacher! Exclamation mark. Goodbye, babies. Lin Feng drove the children home. Did you have fun today? Happy? Did you eat enough today? Yes. When they got home, Sanbao remembered that there were gifts in his small school bag. Dad, this stone is for you, and these flowers are for Mom. The stone is very beautiful and looks really good. But that's not the point. The point is that the little cutie actually thought of bringing gifts for Mom and Dad. His little cotton padded jacket Sanbao. Lin Feng picked up Sanbao and kissed him. Thank you, baby. Dad likes the stone very much. Sanbao hugged him. Sanbao likes Dad and Mom the most. Bao has been paying attention to this side silently. After Sanbao left, Bao came over with a small school bag. He put the small school bag on Lin Feng's legs, his eyes sparkling. Lin Feng can't say that he knows every baby well, but he can guarantee that he is the one who knows them best. Lin Feng quickly understood what Bao meant. You want me to open the school bag, right? Bao nodded, looking a little expectant. Lin Feng opened the school bag, and there were 2 candies inside. The wrapping paper was very beautiful. Lin Feng asked, is this from the teacher? Bao nodded. Lin Feng asked softly again, Are you going to give it to mom and dad? Erbeo nodded again. Lin Feng held his little face. Thank you, baby, moo. Kissing his daughter's forehead, Tuanchuan was actually a little embarrassed, and blushed as she put the school bag away. Chapter 330 Christmas Eve. Zhang Yuxi returned home. The babies had already eaten and gone to bed. Zhang Yuxi looked at the time and was surprised. So early. The children are tired from playing. They dozed off during dinner. Lin Feng explained. Zhang Yuxi went upstairs. I'll go see the children. When going downstairs, he passed by the children's room and expressed his satisfaction. When he sat down, Zhang Yuxi saw the gifts for the second and third babies in front of him. What is this? Lin Feng said with a smile. Guess. Zhang Yuxi was surprised for a moment, then thought about it. The children gave it to me. Lin Feng asked again, then guess who gave it to me? Zhang Yuxi looked at the candy and analyzed. Dabao and Sabao are both foodies. They can't keep candy. These two are either Erbao or Sanbao. Zhang Yuxi looked at it. This flower and stone. The flower was given by Sanbao. The stone was given by Dabao. Lin Feng sat down. I guessed half of the candy right, and the rest were wrong. Zhang Yuxi was a little surprised, and soon understood. This candy is from Erbao. Then this flower is from Sanbao? Was the stone given by Dabao? Lin Feng shook his head. The stone is wrong. Guess again. Zhang Yuxi thought about it, and asked uncertainly, is it Sabao? Well, if it is really Sabao, it would be quite unexpected. Lin Feng couldn't help laughing. You think too much? Zhang Yuxi. In the end, Zhang Yuxi guessed it was still Sanbao. Alice. She is really her little cutie. After eating, Zhang Yuxi organized a play area for the babies. Wife, organize the babies' school bags and check if there are any sweat towels or pants missing. Okay. Zhang Yuxi checked the babies' school bags one by one. She took out the sweat towels from the school bags and washed them later. After she was done, Lin Feng also washed the dishes. Since the children went to school, time always seems to pass quickly. In a blink of an eye, the children's room has been decorated, exactly the same as the design. Although it is made of non-toxic and harmless materials, Lin Feng still needs to open it before using it. In another blink of an eye, it is Christmas Eve. Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi went to the supermarket to buy a big Christmas tree while the babies were in school. Then they bought colorful lights, candies and other decorations. This is the first time to celebrate Christmas so grandly. In the past, on Christmas Eve, I gave the babies an apple to express my blessing. On Christmas, I took the babies out to play. This time is different from the past. The babies went to school and had a better understanding of Christmas Eve and Christmas. In the class group, some parents sent photos and have begun to prepare for Christmas. The couple thought about it and decided to give the babies a good Christmas. After tidying up a corner of the living room, the couple began to decorate the Christmas tree. They searched for pictures on the internet to find out how to decorate it. After a busy time, the couple put the shining stars on the top of the tree and completed the task. Well, they also need to prepare gifts. The couple bought some toys and some food. They packed them with wrapping paper, tied gift ribbons, and then put names on them. After doing all this, Zhang Yuxi lay on the sofa and didn't want to move. The rest was done by Lin Feng himself. After it was finally completed, Lin Feng covered it with curtains and placed a large fragile vase in front of it. In this way, the babies would not notice it. In the afternoon, pick up the babies from school. The teacher gave each baby in the class an apple and a small gift. The babies were so happy that they said Merry Christmas to Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi. When they got home, they really didn't find the Christmas tree. They played with the toys given by the teacher and then had dinner. After dinner, the babies received a video sent by Xianshan. Xianshan showed them the Christmas tree that Liu Qing and Auntie had decorated. The Christmas tree looked particularly beautiful under the colorful lights. This is the big apple that my mom gave me. It's so big, almost as big as my face. Xianshan even gestured and it really caught up with her face. The babies looked at Xianshan's Christmas tree with envy. Xianshan asked, "Don't you have a Christmas tree?" The babies shook their heads at the same time, with a look of loss on their faces. Xianshan asked in confusion, "Why don't you have one? Did your uncle and aunt prepare one for you?" The babies turned around and saw their parents busy in the kitchen. Erbao said, "Maybe mom and dad forgot. I'll ask them to buy one tomorrow." Sibao also said, Yes, we don't have an aunt at home. Dad is so busy." Dabao looked indifferent. It's the same tomorrow. Sanbao asked gently, did your mom prepare Santa Claus for you? Xianxin was stunned. No. While they were chatting with Xianxin, the couple actually kept their ears perked up and paid attention. After the babies hung up the phone, some were disappointed and some were sad. The fourth baby rushed over, Mom and Dad, do we have a Christmas tree? The second baby rushed to say, Xianxin's mom prepared a beautiful Christmas tree for her, and there are lights on it. The first baby asked eagerly, can we prepare a Christmas tree? The third baby hugged Lin Feng's legs, it's not too late to prepare it tomorrow, tomorrow is Christmas. Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi did not answer this question directly. Can you take a bath first? After you take a bath, Dad will answer this question. The babies were a little unhappy, thinking about the beautiful Christmas tree and gifts. Oh, and apples. Zhang Yuxi gave the second and third babies a bath. Lin Feng gave the first and fourth babies a bath. It was dark in Yangcheng at around 6 p.m. When the babies came out of the bath, it was completely dark. Lin Feng winked at Zhang Yuxi. Zhang Yuxi took the babies to the bedroom. Come on, Mom will blow your hair. Lin Feng said, Dad will clean the bathroom. The babies all said oh. Lin Feng quickly cleaned up the bathroom and dried the water stains on the floor. Then he went to the living room to surprise the babies. Lin Feng shouted at the stairs, okay. Zhang Yuxi replied, got it. After blowing Erbao's curly hair, Zhang Yuxi said with a smile, okay, go downstairs, there's a surprise. The babies reacted immediately and rushed downstairs screaming one by one. Dabei followed behind. Fifi was lying on the bed, yawning to show that he didn't want to move. Zhang Yuxi carried it downstairs together, run slowly, be careful not to fall. Halfway through the walk, he heard the babies screaming. A Christmas tree, what a beautiful Christmas tree. So beautiful, there are gifts. I'm going to send a video to Xianxin so that she can see our Christmas tree too. Mom and Dad are lying, there's a Christmas tree. Dad, Sanbao loves you and Mom the most. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 331 Preparing for Anlan's Wedding. Zhang Yuxi came down with Fifi in her arms. The lights in the room were dimmed, making the lights of the Christmas tree look extremely eye-catching and beautiful. Erbao immediately sent a video to Xianxin. As soon as the video was connected, Erbao screamed loudly. Xianxin, look, we also have a Christmas tree, which is bigger than yours. Sibao came over and grinned, there are so many gifts. Xianxin blinked her big eyes, envying the babies for having such a big Christmas tree. She asked curiously, didn't you say that Uncle and Aunt didn't buy it? Dabao's voice came, Mom and Dad bought it a long time ago, just to surprise us. Sanbao's face was next to Erbao, we love this surprise so much. Xianxin smiled and said, then let's open the gift together. Erbao answered happily, okay. So, across the screen, the 5 children opened the gift together. Raymond Lam and Zhang Yuxi prepared a lot of gifts for the babies. There were clothes, princess crowns, apples, toys, picture books, etc. Every time a gift was opened, the 5 babies would discuss it. Raymond Lam held Zhang Yuxi and looked at this scene, and couldn't help but smile gently. Honey, there is also your Christmas gift in there. Zhang Yuxi was surprised and delighted. Honey, I have one too. Lin Feng smiled, you are my big baby, of course I have one. So Zhang Yuxi also joined the team. Only then did he realize that the names on the packages had been torn off by Lin Feng. What is this? Sanbao opened the package in his hand and found a beautiful bracelet. This bracelet is obviously in adult style. Sanbao quickly handed it to Zhang Yuxi. Mom. Zhang Yuxi opened it and found it was a Cartier bracelet. Zhang Yuxi liked the style and workmanship at first sight. Honey, thank you. Lin Feng sat on the sofa and smiled gently. Look for it again. He meant that there were other gifts. Zhang Yuxi hadn't experienced this kind of surprise of opening gifts for a long time. The 4 babies and Zhang Yuxi opened the gifts. Zhang Yuxi was very lucky this time and got her second gift. This was a pair of decorative earrings with tassels, very beautiful. Zhang Yuxi's ears were delicate and she could only wear sterling silver ear hooks and gold. Thank you, husband. The babies surrounded Lin Feng and said sweet words. Dad, thank you for your gift. Sibeo loves you the most. Dad, I love you so much. Lin Feng said with a smile, these gifts are also prepared by Mom for you. The babies turned their heads and flattered Zhang Yuxi in various ways. Liu Qing, who was still on the other side of the video, ate a handful of dog food and was envious. In the evening, Zhang Yuxi presented her own gift. She made an exception and provided special service for Lin Feng. Lin Feng was very satisfied. And Lan and Liu Bo's wedding was prepared intensively for 2 months. It was scheduled to be held on January 1st. The hotel was in Xinghao International, a hotel under Lin Feng's name. Although Xinghao International was marked as a 3-star hotel, its supporting facilities were close to 4-star. In Yangchang, it has a very good reputation and very good business. Anne's mother flew back from Shanghai to take care of her daughter. Liu Bo was preparing for the wedding. In order to get married, Liu Bo bought a 3-bedroom, 2-living room, more than 140 square meters of finely decorated house. Liu Bo decided to give the house he bought to his parents after he took possession of it. The house he bought is not far from Kahu Villa, and it takes about 20 minutes to drive there. Therefore, Zhang Yuxi would take her children to see Anlan on Saturdays and Sundays. This time, Anlan chose Song Shiner, Joyi and Han Wen as bridesmaids. Han Wen and Anlan get along very well. When they first met, they became good friends. And they also attended Zhang Yuxi's wedding last time. This weekend, when they heard that Joyi and Song Shiner were coming, Lin Feng's family drove to Anlan's house. The living room was very lively. Anne's mother was cooking, and Anlan and a few others were chatting in the living room. When the babies came in, it was even more lively. After Zhang Yuxi greeted them, she took off the babies' coats. Lin Feng went to the kitchen. After taking care of the babies, Zhang Yuxi sat down. Anlan's figure became a little fuller, and she looked very energetic. Song Shiner and Joyi took a week off just to attend the wedding. There are still 3 days before the wedding, and Anlan, as a pregnant woman, has the most free time. She eats and sleeps all day. Her temper has also been spoiled by everyone. Anlan lay on the sofa and sighed. Alice, I also want to have a romantic wedding, but my strength does not allow it, which is a bit regrettable. Joyi was eating melon seeds. What a pity, your husband has a house, a car, a career, and he loves you very much? I'm so envious, okay. Song Shiner smiled and said, how romantic do you want to be? You are still pregnant. When the child was mentioned, Anlan began to sigh again. Don't mention the child. My wedding dress is a little tighter again. Anlan glanced at Zhang Yuxi. Why don't you say anything? Zhang Yuxi looked at the babies playing and asked absent-mindedly, what are you talking about? I'm talking nonsense to you. Anlan pouted, you are an experienced person, share your experience with me. For example. Zhang Yuxi's eyes flew over, scaring Anlan. Why are you looking at me like that? Zhang Yuxi said slowly, I know what you want to ask, shut up. Anlan was surprised, then what do you want to ask? Zhang Yuxi was too lazy to pay attention to her and got up to go to the kitchen. Anlan pursed her lips and sighed, oh, why do I feel weird when I think about getting married? Joyi stood up, I'll go see if Auntie is ready. Anlan said to herself, can we not get married? Is it too late to regret now? Song Shiner also got up and went to the kitchen, I'll go see too. Anlan reacted and everyone was gone. Damn, are they best friends? They actually dislike her. Sibeo was the flower girl this time, and the small suit was arranged last time. The material is thin, just wear more inside. Anne's mother and Lin Feng were both stunned. Anne's mother asked, you guys go wait outside, the meal will be ready soon. Zhang Yuxi has a good relationship with Anne's mother and speaks frankly. Anlan is complaining about this and that again, I don't want to listen. Anne's mother also sighed, who are you? I am the one being nagged by her. If I wasn't afraid that she would change her mind and not get married, I would have dealt with her long ago. Song Shiner was shocked, will she not get married? Anne's mother thought for a while, this girl is very scary when she gets crazy. Everyone. Zhang Yuxi thought for a while, I'd better go and listen to her nagging. Turning around, she saw Anlan standing at the door, asking with a greedy look, Mom, Mr. Lin, are you ready? I'm starving. Looking at her heartless appearance, Zhang Yuxi held Anlan's hand, no, wait a little longer. At the dinner table, Anlan regretted eating too much while eating. Everyone. Do pregnant women become chatterboxes? This woman is too talkative, I really want to seal her mouth. After dinner, Lan wanted to go to bed. Zhang Yuxi took her downstairs for a walk, and Lan acted coquettishly. Yuxi, I don't want to go. Oh. Zhang Yuxi ignored her, changed her shoes and took Lan away. As soon as Lan left, An's mother showed her disdain like a real mother. Finally she left. Finally I can have some peace and quiet for a while. Chapter 332, Implied. The wedding was scheduled for January 1st. Kehu Villa naturally became Lan's temporary home. Liu Bo's motorcade would pick people up here and take them back to the new house. The bridesmaids, teacher Han Wen, Zhou Yi and Song Shiner, would come over early the next morning. Zhang Yuxi and Lan slept in the master bedroom. Lin Feng and Sanbao slept in the same room. Lan tossed and turned, excited and nervous, and pulled Zhang Yuxi to talk. After being with Lin Feng, Zhang Yuxi went to bed on time. After talking to Lan in a daze for a while, she really couldn't hold on. Lan, tomorrow is your big day. If you want to be a beautiful bride, go to sleep. Lan was startled and quickly closed her eyes. Damn, I want to be the most beautiful tomorrow. The makeup team came after 5 o'clock the next day. They did makeup and styling for the 3 bridesmaids and the bride, and it was 7 o'clock. Lan sat on a chair and slept, letting the makeup artist toss her face. When she was almost asleep, the bridal makeup was also done. After carefully looking at the mirror, Lan was still very satisfied. Looking at Zhang Yuxi beside her, she suddenly felt a little regretful. I want you to be my bridesmaid, but it's a pity that you're married. I originally thought that getting married is not impossible, but on the day of the big wedding, I won't allow you to be more beautiful than me, so I'm wronging you, Yuxi. Zhang Yuxi felt a little regretful, but after hearing this, what a pity. I didn't feel wronged at all. Lan became even more crazy. Don't make the bridesmaid too beautiful. Zhou Yu laughed and scolded, get out of here. Teacher Han Wen closed her eyes and said to the makeup artist, don't listen to her, I want to be more beautiful than the bride. Lan's eyes widened, you bunch of little bitches. You actually want to steal my limelight at my wedding. After An's mother finished cleaning up, she smiled and said, you are the most beautiful in the world, it's time to change your wedding dress. Lan hummed and groaned to change her wedding dress. The wedding dress was beautiful. It perfectly covered her slightly bulging belly, and there was no sign of pregnancy. After changing, Lan sat on the bed, waiting for Liu Bo to come with a wedding party to pick up the bride. The villa was decorated very festively, and the master bedroom was decorated like a wedding room. The babies were dressed up like little princes and princesses. They were so cute that they could melt people's hearts. As soon as they came in and saw the bride, Lan, they all had sweet mouths. Lan enjoyed it while giving them red envelopes. An's father and mother looked at their daughter wearing a wedding dress and waiting to get married, and their eyes were red. An's father choked up and said, what are you doing on such a happy day? An's mother laughed in her heart, how dare you say that to her? Lin Feng now transformed into Liu Bo's male team and sent a message to Zhang Yuxi. 5 minutes left. Zhang Yuxi said quickly, 5 minutes left, you guys get ready. Lan took a deep breath and sat down quickly. Next, it was the bridesmaids. Zhang Yuxi brought the babies and watched with interest. After a while, Liu Bo, dressed in a suit and leather shoes, came. There were also 3 of his best men, all of whom Zhang Yuxi had never seen before. Lin Feng knew them, but they were not familiar with each other. The bridesmaids checked every level. The first one was Song Shiner. She smiled and asked, are all the red envelopes ready? The best man behind her took out the red envelopes and said, everything is ready. The number of red envelopes was 999. 1 red envelope was given for each wrong question. There were a total of 10 questions in the first round. Song Shiner smiled and said, in order to be fair, the answers have been written. We are all young people. We should be polite and don't come to grab the answers. Liu Bo smiled and said, no. Song Shiner nodded, okay, the first question. What's Lan's zodiac sign? Gemini. What color does Lan like? Too many. Song Shiner smiled and said, wrong answer, she likes colorful black. Liu Bo. The best man behind him handed over a red envelope. The fourth question, which male movie star does Lan like the most? Leo. The fifth question. Most of the questions in this level are easy to get points. Except for the colorful black, Liu Bo answered all the others correctly. After walking a few steps, the second level is Teacher Han Wen. In this level, have you prepared the red envelopes? The groom took out the red envelopes, each of which was 9,999. This time the red envelopes were bigger and thicker. Han Wen smiled with satisfaction. Please listen to the questions. The first question is, in which year and month did you and Lan meet? It was so difficult at the beginning, but Liu Bo was well prepared. He answered this question perfectly. The second question, what is the name of your ex-girlfriend? Liu Bo quickly said, I don't have an ex-girlfriend. Han Wen shook her head, you do. Liu Bo was stunned, I really don't have one. Han Wen reminded him, think about it. Liu Bo thought about it and said very confidently, I don't have one. Han Wen raised her eyebrows, congratulations, the answer is correct. Liu Bo. He felt that this was a trick on him. The third question is a French question. You can look at the question yourself. I don't understand it either. Liu Bo. This is obviously giving money away. Liu Bo gave a red envelope. Overall, Lan still understands him. There are obvious signs of letting him go in the second round. The third round is Zhou Yi. Zhou Yi smiled and asked, are you ready? This round of red envelopes is 99,999, and the money will be transferred on the spot. The first question is, when are the babies' birthdays? August 8th. The second question is, what is Mr. Lin's favorite food? Liu Bo asked Lin Feng, brother, what do you like to eat the most? Lin Feng never expected that he would have his own business. He was stunned for a moment. I don't have a favorite food. Zhou Yi said meaningfully, no, you like to eat something. Liu Bo looked at him. Lin Feng thought for a while, wife? Liu Bo. Lin Feng asked calmly, is this the question? Liu Bo glanced at Zhou Yi. Zhou Yi smiled, congratulations, the answer is correct. The third question, who has the best driving skills? A. Zhang Yuxi, B. Lan, C. Lin Feng, D. Liu Bo. Liu Bo had learned from the previous experience and felt that this question was not simple. Neither he nor Zhang Yuxi was that kind of person. So he could only choose one between B and C in the end. Liu Bo chose B, Lan. Zhou Yi asked back, are you sure? Liu Bo nodded. Wrong answer. Lin Feng felt that he was being implied. Chapter 333 The wedding banquet begins. Since they are married, it is the common property of the couple, so Lan still gave it some leeway. Finally reaching the bedroom, Lan smiled shyly at Liu Bo, who was dressed in a suit. She always felt that this man was particularly handsome today. Liu Bo was already amazed by the bride in front of him, that was her own bride. Zhang Yuxi clapped her hands, groom, come back to your senses. Liu Bo was a little embarrassed, and Lan felt sweet in her heart. Zhang Yuxi pointed to the 3 cups on the table. Choose one and drink it. Liu Bo asked, what are they? Zhang Yuxi smiled, a cup of vinegar, a cup of soy sauce, and a cup of mustard water. They are all life-threatening things. Liu Bo did not hesitate and chose the cup in the middle. Zhang Yuxi took a look and smiled, congratulations, you chose mustard water, come on. Liu Bo took the mustard water and drank it all in Lan's worry. In fact, the amount was not bad, within Liu Bo's tolerance. Finally, he carried the bride to the wedding car. The bridesmaid held up the skirt to prevent the fluffy wedding dress from blocking Liu Bo's eyes. He couldn't see the road with his 10,000. What if he fell? Liu Bo carried Lan to the wedding car very steadily. Zhang Yuxi and others also got in the car. The motorcade was hired, all of which were million-dollar luxury cars, with a total of more than 20 years. It was a big scene. The car in the front was the photography team's car. The driving route of the wedding car was to leave Kehu Villa and go to the hotel. It must be in a mouth shape, or a circle. This is auspicious. Therefore, it has to go around a big circle. To Zhenghao International. Outside the hotel, there is a huge wedding photo of Liu Bo and Lan. On the begging arch, it says congratulations to Ms. Lan and Mr. Liu Bo on their marriage. The venue is beautifully decorated, and Zhang Yuxi and his wife are helping to take care of the sign-in area. Lin Deshan and his wife, and Liu Bo's parents are helping at the wedding scene. The guests are almost full. One side for the woman, and one side for the man. Lan concealed the pregnancy. On Liu Bo's side, no one else knew except his parents. Zhang Yuxi had nothing to do next, so she sat down with Lin Feng and took the babies to eat. The opening of a wedding must have an auspicious number. Liu Bo said it at 12:08. King Guyang's music was playing in the venue. On the huge projection screen were the wedding photos of the newlyweds. Joya came over in a hurry. Little flower scatterers, come quickly. Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi took the baby's hands and went to another box. The makeup artist was touching up Lan's makeup, and she was a little nervous. The staff handed the flower baskets to the babies. Dabao, as the leading flower girl, walked in front. With a first experience, this time was nothing for them. Inside, the wedding march sounded, and Lan became even more nervous. The bridesmaids comforted her, and Zhang Yuxi comforted her. An's father comforted her. And Lan felt that she was bubbling with happiness at this moment. Yuxi, come here, let me hug you. Zhang Yuxi hugged Lan. Don't cry, smile, you are the most beautiful woman in the audience today. The staff came over. Are you ready? It's time to enter the venue. As the two doors opened, the four flower girls walked in front. Then came Erbao, Sanbao and Dabao. As soon as they appeared, they became the focus. The guests discussed them. Wow, these four children are so beautiful. They look a bit alike. Are they quadruplets? Quadruplets, is it true? Are they inviting flower girls? Most of those who have such doubts are from the man's side, who don't understand the situation. And Lan's family relationships are closely related to Zhang Yuxi. Everyone knows that the Zhang family has given birth to four lovely children, and the son-in-law is worth tens of billions. Walking behind the cute babies is Lan. She walks slowly holding the hand of An's father. Looking at Liu Bo in front. Behind are the three bridesmaids. Zhang Yuxi leaned on Lin Feng's chest and couldn't help but recall the scene of her marriage with Lin Feng. Husband, I love you. Lin Feng said with a smile, I love you, my wife too. Walking to the groom's side, the flower girl left the line. Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi took Sibao to the empty box next door and changed his clothes. Then put on casual clothes. Sibao instantly felt much more comfortable. Let's have a wedding banquet. The adults' emotions also inspired the babies. Sibao ate and asked, Dad, what does marriage mean? Lin Feng thought for a while. It means a man and a woman like each other and live together for the rest of their lives. Then we will hold a ceremony, called marriage. Erbao quickly said, I want to be with Dad in the future, and always be together. Sibao also nodded. Sibao loves Dad the most. Lin Feng laughed and changed the subject. What do you want to eat? Dad will pick it for you. The food on their table was prepared by the hotel kitchen. It was for the babies to eat. Sibao, who was next to Raymond Lam, said, I want to be with my mother in the future too. Zhang Yuxi laughed. No way, he will definitely forget his mother when he gets a wife in the future. Sibao shook his head. No, Dabao will never forget his mother. Dabao asked, what is a wife? Zhang Yuxi teased him. It's the girl you like in the future. Besides mom, you will like other girls. They all said that they would not like anyone else except their mother and sister. Zhang Yuxi was even happier, but she was also a little melancholy. Time flies so fast. When I was pregnant with him, it seemed like it was just yesterday. In a blink of an eye, Lan already had a child. On the stage, the MC was hosting, and he was an old partner with Raymond Lam. The wedding company was an acquaintance, and the hotel was owned by Raymond Lam. In addition to spending some money, Liu Bo also facilitated many trivial matters. Moreover, this money was paid by Liu Bo for the air tickets of relatives and friends, and the wedding company. The hotel was free. When Lan on the stage started crying, Zhang Yuxi also cried. Raymond Lam hugged her and comforted her. Don't cry, be happy. Zhang Yuxi pursed her lips. These are tears of joy. Lin Feng teased, why don't you cry a lot? Zhang Yuxi punched him. What are you talking about? Chapter 334 Role Reversal. Drinking and drinking resistance mainly depend on the best man and bridesmaid. And Lan was just going through the motions. Finally, it was Zhang Yuxi's table. And Lan sat down and didn't want to move. I'm so tired. Zhang Yuxi's wedding was simple, and she wasn't pregnant, so she didn't feel tired. I'll take you back to rest for a while, leave this to them. And Lan sighed, I really can't hold on any longer, Mr. Lin. Tell Liu Bo that I'm going to rest for a while. Go ahead. The guest room here has been prepared long ago. And Lan removed her makeup, changed into her wedding dress, and fell asleep in less than a minute after lying down. She slept until 5 or 6 in the afternoon. She didn't want to deal with the guests, so she had to eat in the room. After a while, Zhang Yuxi and several bridesmaids came up. Joya can drink, Songshiner can talk, and Han Wen can bargain. So Zhou Yi didn't drink much in the end. As soon as Lan saw them, she asked hurriedly, "Is it over?" Zhou Yi burped, "I guess so, most of it has nothing to do with you, just do what you need to do." And Lan breathed a sigh of relief, "That's good, getting married is really tiring." This made the others laugh and cry. Because Lan was pregnant, people in the know could get her to drink as much as they wanted. In the end, Liu Bo got drunk as he wished and went back. The bride didn't show up either, so everyone had their own fun and everyone was entertained. In the evening, the couple brought the babies back to sleep. Zhao Lizian and Zhang Fuiong visited the children's room and were very satisfied, praising the design all the time. Lin Feng took the children to bed, leaving Zhang Yuxi to talk to his parents. "Mom, how long will you stay this time?" Zhao Lizian smiled and said, "Your dad will be back soon, I can stay a few more days." Zhang Yuxi was surprised, "So soon?" Zhao Lizian nodded, "There are some things that need to be dealt with. It's almost the new year, and there are a lot of things to do." Zhao Lizian and her daughter slept in the master bedroom, and Lin Feng slept in the small room on the first floor. In the evening, Zhao Lizian asked her daughter, "Where are you going to go for the new year this year?" "I don't know yet, let's see." Zhao Lizian understood that this meant to see her son-in-law. "Today, Sibeo asked me about the ducks and chickens." Zhang Yuxi still understands her parents. The last time the children were video chatting with chickens, ducks, cranes and quails, their bodies were not right. They were much smaller, probably bought temporarily to make up the number. Sure enough, Zhao Lizian sighed and said, "I really can't bear to tell them that we actually ate them all. Chickens and ducks grow very fast, and cranes and quails have begun to lay eggs by themselves." They knew for the first time that cranes and quails lay eggs so well. 4 cranes and quails lay about 15 to 20 eggs a day. Looking at the chickens and ducks in the yard, the couple thought they would eat one. Then they became addicted. It has been a year since the last New Year. You know, chickens and ducks have grown very big in a year. Zhao Lizian stayed for 3 days and then left. The dance troupe had a performance and she had to be in charge. Before leaving, Zhao Lizian sighed, "You should go to Michang for the New Year this year. Last time during the New Year, you didn't have much fun. You stayed at home with the children every day. It was boring. Besides, your father and I are expected to be busy during the New Year this year. None of the Zhang family's relatives are in Shanghai. How can the New Year be as lively as Micheng?" Although Shanghai is a first-tier city, with the development of the economy, the atmosphere of the New Year is always a little lighter. Zhao Lizian knew what her daughter and son-in-law wanted. Zhang Yuxi told Lin Feng about this. Lin Feng thought for a while, "Let's go to the beach for the New Year. It's very comfortable to spend the New Year in spring all year round. Husband, you can arrange it any way you want." Zhang Yuxi smiled sweetly. Before school was over that day, the teacher posted an assignment in the class group. In order to let the babies experience the hard work and difficulty of their parents, they can try to swap roles for a day. At that time, the teacher will randomly check the students and ask them to come up and say how they feel. Lin Feng thought this was very interesting. After picking up the babies from school, the little cuties were talking about it one by one. They were also excited that they chattered all the way back home. Once they got home, they put away their school bags as usual, washed their hands, ate cookies and drank milk. Lin Feng started to cook dinner and waited for Zhang Yuxi to come back. Zhang Yuxi came home on time. The babies rushed up one by one, vying to tell Zhang Yuxi about the role exchange. She was also in the parent group, so she also saw the teacher's group message. She pretended not to know and pretended to be surprised to cooperate with the babies. "Really? Then are you going to play the role of mother or father?" Dabeo and Sabeo decided to play the role of father. Erbeo and Sanbeo decided to play the role of mother. Zhang Yuxi nodded, "In this case, Dad and I are the babies." She was still looking forward to it. Lin Feng shouted in the kitchen, "Dinner is ready." Zhang Yuxi asked the babies to sit down obediently, and he went to serve the rice and the plate. Except for special circumstances, the family would not talk while eating. After the babies finished eating and went to play, Zhang Yuxi sat next to Lin Feng. "Honey, when will the kids have their holiday?" "They'll have their holiday after they finish school next Monday. We estimate it will take another week. Are you free on Monday afternoon? The school will hold a parent-teacher meeting. Let's go together if we have time." "Well, we'll talk about it later. It's not certain yet." After dinner, Zhang Yuxi washed the dishes while Lin Feng did the housework. The 4 babies and a cat and a dog were having fun. Lin Feng looked at them silently. "Children, come here. Dad has something to tell you." The babies gathered around. "Tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, Mom and I will be the babies. You have to take care of us. Can you take good care of us? Promise not to cry, not to complain, and to complete this task seriously and diligently." The babies nodded and said in unison, "No problem." Then in this way, except for cooking and washing dishes, which Mom and Dad will do, you will be responsible for everything else. The babies said that there was no problem at all. Looking at their innocent faces, I believe they don't know what will be waiting for them tomorrow. "Go to bed," Lin Feng said with a loving face. He is also very playful. In the evening, Lin Feng made a reservation for the porridge for the next day. He planned to be a baby and sleep until he wakes up naturally tomorrow. Chapter 335, Baby's Dressing Service. The next day, after the babies woke up, they found that Lin Feng was still sleeping. Sanbao ran over to wake Lin Feng up. "Dad." Lin Feng had actually woken up a long time ago and had chatted with Zhang Yuxi for a while. Opening his sleepless eyes, Lin Feng reminded Sanbao, "Baby, today both Daddy and Mommy are babies." Sanbao was stunned for a moment. Lin Feng stood up and said, "So, you have to dress yourself. And then you have to dress Mommy and Daddy." As soon as he finished speaking, Zhang Yuxi, who was pretending to be still asleep, hit him quietly in the quilt. The babies were wearing a set of fleece pajamas at home. There was no need to wear 3 layers inside and 3 layers outside, just put them on directly. The babies were obedient and started to dress themselves in a proper manner. Dabao and Sabao were good at hands-on work and were quick at doing things, so they were dressed in a short while. Sanbao was delicate and weak, and it took a lot of effort to put on the clothes. During this process, Sanbao looked at Lin Feng aggrieved from time to time. He hoped to get Lin Feng's help. Lin Feng cheered Sanbao up. "Come on, Sanbao, you are the best." Sanbao. Bao was in a hurry to put on his clothes quickly. Pajamas have buttons, which are not difficult to button. At the last step, Sanbao came running over, pouting. "Dad, can you help Sanbao?" Lin Feng smiled slightly. "Sure." Bao stood in line at the back. Lin Feng felt that it was not that Bao didn't know how to do it, but that she was too lazy to move. Seeing that the babies had all dressed up, Lin Feng yawned. "Come on, help Daddy get dressed." Lin Feng also wore velvet and thick pajamas at home. 2 people worked together to hold the pants, and 2 people worked together to hold the pants. With the cooperation of the 4 people, Lin Feng put on his pajamas and did not forget to praise the babies. Zhang Yuxi woke up, and she planned to refuse the dressing service. She was a baby who knew how to dress, so they didn't need to do it. But the babies were very active at this time. Sibao said with a little adult look, "Mom, you are the baby today, we are the parents." Dabao smiled, "Be obedient, or I will spank you." Sanbao had already taken a comb. "I will comb your hair." Bao quickly said, "I want it too." So, Bao and Sanbao pressed down Zhang Yuxi's head to comb her hair. Lin Feng was taken to wash his face by the boys. Bao and Sanbao discussed and decided to give Zhang Yuxi a bun. Bao smiled and said, "It will look beautiful if Mom makes 2. Sanbao flattered without any doubt, "Yes. Mom is the most beautiful." Zhang Yuxi. Bao and Sanbao were responsible for half of Zhang Yuxi's head. Unlike the gentle Sanbao, Bao's attack was extremely heavy. Zhang Yuxi was in pain and grimaced, but she couldn't blame her daughter. "Bao, can you be gentler?" Bao blinked his innocent big eyes. "Sorry, Mom, I'll be gentler." Zhang Yuxi smiled. The moment Bao attacked, Zhang Yuxi's smile froze on her face. Hiss. "It hurts." Zhang Yuxi felt that she had to do something. So, with the efforts of the babies and herself, her hairstyle was successful. 2 crooked buns on top. Looking at herself in the mirror, Zhang Yuxi's face was red with shame. Sanbao had a bit of obsessive-compulsive disorder and immediately expressed her dissatisfaction with the asymmetry of the 2 buns. "Mom, this one is crooked, baby, do it again." Zhang Yuxi looked at the time. 20 minutes had passed, and she was shouting in her heart. But she said, "I think it's good, Mom will tidy it up a little." With lightning speed, Zhang Yuxi made the 2 buns neat and symmetrical. Are Bao and Sanbao satisfied? No. Today they must dress Zhang Yuxi as a little princess. So, the 2 brought their hair ornament boxes. Zhang Yuxi said tactfully, this one is not necessary. The two little princesses had the same attitude. Today we are going to dress mom beautifully. Yes, mom is a little princess and a little fairy today. After a busy period, Zhang Yuxi almost burst into tears in front of the mirror. Oh my god, her head is full of colorful hairpins, clips, etc. Zhang Yuxi's heart was breaking down a little bit. Erbao and Sanbao were very satisfied with their craftsmanship. Mom, do you like it? I think mom is super beautiful today. Zhang Yuxi nodded, with a look of approval. Yes, mom thinks I am super beautiful. Thank you two babies. When going downstairs, Zhang Yuxi had already imagined what Lin Feng's expression would be when he saw her. Lin Feng had already started to eat breakfast. Lin Feng was drinking porridge. Erbao and Sanbao jumped and shouted. Dad, do you think mom is beautiful? But it's our dress, a beautiful princess. Lin Feng looked up with curiosity, and he almost spit out the porridge while drinking it. Zhang Yuxi looked at him expressionlessly, with a warning in his eyes. Lin Feng took out his mobile phone, suppressed his laughter and said, Mom is really beautiful today, Dad wants to take a photo to commemorate it. Zhang Yuxi's eyes widened, hubby. Erbao and Sanbao were very satisfied with Zhang Yuxi's look, so they agreed with Lin Feng's words. Sanbao said sweetly, Mom, smile. Zhang Yuxi forced a far-fetched smile. Lin Feng held back his laughter, little princess, smile happily. Zhang Yuxi immediately forced a bright smile. Lin Feng said again, come on, little princess, do it from the side. Zhang Yuxi narrowed her eyes slightly, and did as Lin Feng said, doing it from the side. After snapping and snapping, Lin Feng asked, wife, do you like this look? Zhang Yuxi nodded, I like it. Although it was eye-catching, Erbao and Sanbao spent a lot of effort on it, and she liked it. When Erbao and Sanbao were having breakfast, Zhang Yuxi pinched Lin Feng hard and said coquettishly, husband, you went too far just now. Lin Feng didn't feel any pain, and came over and whispered, I think it looks good, so cute and eye-catching. Zhang Yuxi, husband, stop making trouble, or I'll let my sons shave your head. Lin Feng didn't care, it's okay, your husband is handsome with a bald head. Zhang Yuxi. Chapter 336 Fifi, why don't you lose weight? Lin Feng looked at the babies playing in the living room and pointed at the litter box and said to them, babies, the litter box needs to be cleaned. Recalling that every morning after breakfast, Lin Feng would go to clean the litter box. Sanbao and Erbao, who played the role of dad, looked at the litter box and were a little overwhelmed. Lin Feng took the initiative to take the litter box to the bathroom and told the babies how to be a poop scooper. Lin Feng was so impressed by his first time as a poop scooper. The smell almost sent him away. Sure enough, when Sanbao and Sanbao pressed the small shovel, they smelled the smell and their faces changed. Sanbao couldn't help but rush out of the bathroom. Sanbao was left alone at a loss. Sanbao ran out, and Sanbao came back reluctantly after a while. Lin Feng had been observing secretly from the side. He saw Sanbao and Sanbao standing in front of the litter box, struggling. Lin Feng bought odor-proof cat litter and put odor-proof beads. The smell was still hard to describe. After discussing for a long time, the two finally decided to start. The two had a clear division of labor. You shovel one, I shovel one. Lin Feng shovels cat litter every morning and evening. In the morning, Fifi's poop is not much. This is because the babies are not used to the smell. Sanbao and Sanbao can play coarse, and the two cover their noses with their chubby little hands. Carefully shovel the poop. You and I start to be little shit shovelers. At this time, Fifi came. Meowing, squatting beside and watching curiously. Fifi lived up to the color of its body, and now it has become like a piglet. It is said that 9 out of 10 orange cats are fat, and one can crush the king. Sanbao complained while working. Fifi, why can you poop so much? How do you do it? Lin Feng also wanted to know this question. How can so much poop fit in a small belly? Sanbao said again, Fifi, you look too fat, why don't you lose weight? Fifi ignored him and looked at him curiously. Sanbao was busy while talking. Sanbao, who was working silently, couldn't stand it anymore. Brother, stop talking. Hurry up, I'm going to die of the stink. After a lot of effort, the two babies finished cleaning up. They came out of the bathroom, gasping for breath. Lin Feng smiled and said, when I was taking care of you, the stink you pooped every day was just as stink as Fifi's. Dad also endured the stench and raised you with a lot of shit and piss. It's not easy to take care of you. From now on, the task of feeding Dabe and Fifi dog food and cat food will be handed over to you. Sibeo reacted quickly and asked, then Dad, who'll shovel the stink? Lin Feng pretended to think about it. Well, after you go to the senior class, I'll hand it over to you. Let Dad do it now. Both little guys couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Zhang Yuxi sighed. Zhang Yuxi was playing, Erbeo and Sanbeo started to organize things and put away toys. Lin Feng took the boys upstairs. We have to do laundry today. Daddy will tell you which clothes need to be washed and we should put them in this laundry basket. Dabeo carried the laundry basket. Sibeo put the dirty clothes in it. In fact, Lin Feng had washed them before, so there was nothing to wash. He did this just to let the babies do more. Let them experience how difficult it is to be a parent. After putting away the dirty clothes, Lin Feng put them in the washing machine, which is a washing and drying machine. Even so, Lin Feng would take them out to dry. Okay, you have to come over to pick the vegetables. Lin Feng took out spinach, green beans, and celery. Lin Feng put on smocks for them. Come, Daddy will tell you how to pick the vegetables. Pick the spinach one by one, and then put them neatly in this basket. This is green beans, we have to break off the two ends, do you see it? Break the celery in the middle, and then tear it. We need to pull off the whiskers. Okay, you guys start. Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi helped while observing the babies. The babies did a very good job. Except for the celery, which Lin Feng had to redo, everything else was fine. Lin Feng brought a basin of warm water and asked the babies to wash the green beans and celery. They couldn't wash the spinach clean. After doing all this, the babies were obviously tired. Erbeo even sighed. It turns out that Dad and Mom have to do so many things a day. It's so hard. And they didn't seem to do anything except eating, drinking and having fun. While washing the spinach, Lin Feng asked, you know how hard Mom and Dad work. Can you help them with the housework in the future? The babies said it was no problem. Lin Feng was cooking, and the clothes in the washing machine had been spun dry. Zhang Yuxi hung the clothes with the babies. Both balconies were equipped with automatic retractable hangers. The babies were responsible for passing the hangers, and soon the clothes were all hung up. In this time, Lin Feng's meal was almost ready. The babies went downstairs again and started to wipe the dining table and prepare to eat. Finally, they had time to sit and wait for dinner. Zhang Yuxi asked, are you tired? The babies nodded very honestly. They were busy, and it felt like they had just finished one thing, and there was something else waiting for them over there. Zhang Yuxi touched their heads lovingly. After lunch, they had to wipe the table and put the dining chairs in place. Only after doing all this could they play. They had almost played, and it was time for a nap. The babies took off their clothes and went to their cribs for a nap, and fell asleep in a short while. After a while, they all fell asleep. Zhang Yuxi was relieved. The babies performed well today, they didn't complain, and they didn't show any unhappiness. Lin Feng kissed her and was proud of his babies. After sleeping until the afternoon, the babies got dressed by themselves. They actually took the initiative to ask Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi what they needed to do. Lin Feng opened the refrigerator and took a look. It was empty. We are going to the supermarket to buy some. The babies were very happy to go to the supermarket to play. Sibeo is indeed a little elf. When he thought about going to the supermarket, he thought about his current role as a father. He immediately thought that a father has the right to buy what he likes. So he asked with a smile, Dad, now that we are fathers, can we buy what we like? Zhang Yuxi was stunned for a moment, and looked at her husband with a little surprise. Lin Feng pretended to think about it. Yes, you are fathers now and you can buy what you want. When the babies heard this, they were also happy that they couldn't stop smiling. So when they arrived at the supermarket, they went straight to the toy section. The eldest baby likes Transformers the most. When he sees one, he buys it. The second baby likes Barbie dolls. This supermarket has many good brands, so he picked out the two most beautiful and expensive ones. The third baby likes delicate and pretty ones. So he bought all the interesting toys he saw. The fourth baby likes Ultraman the most. So when he sees the Ultraman he likes, he buys it. They just arrived at the supermarket, and the shopping cart is full of toys. Chapter 337 Let the babies pay the bill. Zhang Yuxi's face darkened slightly. But the children were so happy that they didn't notice. Lin Feng looked normal, as if he didn't see it. He just said, Now we are going to buy vegetables and fruits. Buy whatever you want to eat. He has always been in charge of cooking. Although the babies have a picky taste, they are not very picky. Seeing these vegetables, he didn't know what to buy. He lost his enthusiasm for buying toys. After looking left and right, the little elf Sabeo started again. Mom and Dad. Buy whatever you want to eat. We are not picky eaters and can eat anything. Zhang Yuxi couldn't help but sigh. Now this child is really too smart and has a quick brain. Lin Feng bought some vegetables, fruits and meat. Okay, is there anything else you want to buy? If not, we can go home. The babies have already bought their favorite toys and don't want to buy anything else. Lin Feng gave Dabeo 300 yuan in banknotes. Since you are little adults now, you can pay at the checkout. Zhang Yuxi took a look at the 300 yuan and couldn't help feeling happy. Just a Barbie doll that Dabeo bought cost much more than this price. They lined up to wait for the checkout, and soon it was their turn. The 4 babies were very active. They put the things in the shopping cart on the checkout counter one by one and waited for the code to be scanned. When Dabeo handed the 300 yuan to the cashier, as you can imagine, the cashier's face turned green. If it weren't for the cuteness of the babies and the stunning looks of their parents, the cashier's face would probably be worse. The cashier said with a smile, "Little friend, your 300 yuan is not enough." The 4 babies were stunned at the time. Dabeo hurriedly said, "Dad, the money you gave is not enough." Lin Feng also said, "But Dad only has this much money now." Zhang Yuxi said, "We said we came to buy vegetables, not toys. You bought so many toys at once, there must be not enough money. How about this, each of you can only keep 1 toy, so that we have enough money." The babies were very hesitant and found it difficult to give up their toys. Dabeo was about to say something. Lin Feng said, "We must buy these vegetables, otherwise what will we eat today and tomorrow? Are we going to starve? You already have a lot of toys, it's okay to buy fewer this time." Finally, under the persuasion of the couple, each of the babies only left 1 favorite toy. Lin Feng used his mobile phone to scan the code to pay when the babies were not paying attention. On the way back, although the babies were a little unhappy, but everyone got the same favorite toy, and that little bit of unhappiness disappeared. In the evening, Lin Feng cooked dinner in the kitchen. The babies went to walk Dabei nearby with their mother. Lin Feng made a dog house in the garden and a toilet for the dog. Every night, I would take Dabei for a walk in the villa area. At the same time, I had to prepare a black paper bag and a small shovel. In this way, when Dabei pooped outside, he would shovel the poop into the paper bag and throw it away. Dabei is very well behaved and very human, and he gets along very well with the babies. The route is almost fixed, and it takes about 40 minutes to walk a circle. After walking the dog back, dinner is ready. After dinner, wait for the babies to tell you children's stories. How about this? Each of you tell mom a story. The story can be one that mom has told you, or you can use your imagination to make up a story. After hearing this, the babies were eager to try. The first one to start was Dabeo. He told the story of Transformers fighting against space monsters. While telling the story, he also expressed it with body language, coupled with Dabeo's exaggerated expressions and movements. It made people laugh. When your own son tells a story, you have to give him face and blow all kinds of rainbow farts. Dabeo told a story about a mermaid. However, this story takes a different approach and has a tricky and vicious perspective. The mermaid in Dabeo's mouth is actually a grafted version of Cinderella. The general content is: the mermaid was born in a poor family. She was not liked by her stepdaughter and 2 sisters, and she was often bullied. Later, the mermaid became the princess of the Mermaid King with her beauty. Zhang Yuxi was a little surprised that Dabeo was quite imaginative. Next was Sanbeo. There was a little Red Riding Hood who went to bring food to her grandmother in the forest. I didn't expect that after I went in, I found that grandma had been eaten by the big bad wolf, and the big bad wolf also wanted to eat Little Red Riding Hood, so Little Red Riding Hood fought hard and saved grandma from the big bad wolf's stomach. The 2 hugged each other and cried with joy. He is worthy of being the 3rd treasure. He finished the story in just a few words. Next is the 4th treasure, who tells the story of the battle between space monsters and Ultraman. The babies all told very well. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said, "Okay, let's go to bed. The babies are probably tired today." Not long after they went to bed, they began to snore and fall asleep. Lin Feng looked at their little faces and felt very proud. His babies are well behaved and sensible, and are very good little babies. The next day. It was another day for the 4 babies to be in charge. Compared with yesterday's enthusiasm, they were a little tired today. Erbao and Sanbao are relatively free as mothers. Zhang Yuxi, who is on vacation at home, played a role very well. Except for washing dishes and occasionally helping with housework, the rest of the time is spent playing with the babies. Call the old man when there is something, and call the husband when there is nothing. Look, Erbao and Sanbao are lying on the sofa playing with Barbie dolls. What if I want to eat fruit? Erbao suddenly had an idea. Husband, are there any fruits? I want to eat fruit. This statement shocked everyone. Zhang Yuxi was reading a book and writing a lesson plan, while Lin Feng was playing with the babies. Suddenly, everyone looked at Erbao. Erbao found it interesting and giggled. Honey, are there any fruits? Lin Feng. Zhang Yuxi. Dabao and Sibao, who played the fathers. Sibao was the first to react and asked Dabao, did you call us? We are dads now. Dabao thought for a moment and said, it seems so. Sibao was diligent and turned around and asked Lin Feng, what fruits are there? Lin Feng was stunned for a moment. Oranges and strawberries. He stood up. I'll go wash them. Strawberries need to be soaked in salt water and washed before eating. The oranges were brought by Jiang Ming from his hometown. They don't look good, but they are sweet and juicy, and the whole family loves them. They need to be cut into pieces, so the oranges need to be washed because there is too much dust on them. Lin Feng cut the oranges, washed the strawberries and took them out. Erbao smiled and imitated Zhang Yuxi's tone and said, thank you, dear. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 338 Thoughts on Divorce. Soon, it was time to make lunch. Raymond Lam decided to have hot pot. Although the heating was on at home, it always felt chilly. After all, in the south, winter is full of magical damage, which is hard to bear. The colder the weather, the more I want to eat some hot pot to warm myself up. All the ingredients for hot pot at home were used. We bought a double-flavored pot, with the babies eating clear soup and Raymond Lam and Zhang Yuxi eating red soup. The babies used tomato base, and the sour and sweet taste was the baby's favorite. After a busy morning, the babies picked vegetables, washed vegetables, and peeled garlic. The whole family worked together, and the scene was very warm. Raymond Lam made a table specifically for eating hot pot, but he was worried that the babies would get hurt. The whole double-flavored pot was placed in the groove, and the wooden table was slightly higher than the edge of the double-flavored pot. As long as the babies had nothing to do, they would generally not hurt themselves. Raymond Lam went to make the ingredients and asked Zhang Yuxi and the babies to watch the pot. Sibao said to Zhang Yuxi seriously, baby, this is very hot, don't touch it casually. Sanbao nodded, you will get hurt, I will go to the hospital for injections and take medicine. Sibao pinched his earlobe and said, if you get burned accidentally, we can relieve it by touching the earlobe. Sibao emphasized, last time I ate eggs, the eggs were very hot, so my hands won't get burned this way. Zhang Yuxi nodded, okay, I'll pay attention. Lin Feng was mixing the ingredients, and Dabao and Erbao were served one by one. Zhang Yuxi said, okay, it's cooking, whatever you want to eat, Mom will cook it for you. Erbao emphasized, we are the mother now, and you are the baby. Zhang Yuxi paused, smiled and said, remember it next time. The family ate the hot pot and drank soy milk happily. Sanbao picked up a quail egg for Zhang Yuxi, come on, baby, eat the egg. Zhang Yuxi was flattered, thank you. Erbao beside Lin Feng also followed suit and picked up a piece of crispy meat for him. Come here, baby, eat some meat. Lin Feng said with a smile, thank you. After eating hot pot, Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi packed up the stall. The babies video chatted with Zhang Chenchen in the toy area. A relative got married, so Jiang Ming and his son went back to the countryside and didn't get home until noon. He will come over soon. Someone in Jiang Ming's hometown feeds sheep. Isn't it winter? He bought 2 sheep. He kept one for himself and sent one to Lin Feng later. Just as Lin Feng finished cleaning the kitchen, Jiang Ming and his son came. He took a whole sheep and Lin Feng could eat it however he wanted. How much? Jiang Ming smiled and said, we are all from the same village. It doesn't cost much, so you don't have to pay. Lin Feng transferred 4,000 to Jiang Ming. Jiang Ming smiled and said, I won't take it. It will be automatically returned after 24 hours. Lin Feng frowned, we can't take a sheep for nothing. Jiang Ming laughed, I'm giving it to you. A sheep is not worth much? For Lin Feng, the price of a sheep is not worth a hair. Jiang Ming gave a token of his heart, not a price. He stood up, I'm leaving, I'm going to get it out tonight. Lin Feng asked him to stay for dinner. No, I have something to do at home, and my child has to go to school tomorrow. Lin Feng did not force him to stay. Okay, bring him here to play when the child is on vacation. Jiang Ming said with a smile, no problem. Little Jiang Chenchen was reluctant to leave, and said that he would come back to play after the vacation, and make an appointment with the four treasures to play together. Dabei and Fifi were already circling the sheep. Lin Feng used the pet trainer skill to stop the two little guys from eating. I'll call Liu Bo and Lan and ask them to come and eat the mutton. And Lan was excited when she heard it. I'll be there right away. I want to eat grilled lamb. The kind with lamb skewers. And grilled lamb chops. Please arrange it for me. Lin Feng asked Liu Bo to answer the phone. Liu Bo, this is a whole sheep. I can't cut it, can you? Liu Bo hesitated for a moment. No problem, leave it to me. I'll go buy a butcher knife and other things, and then divide it up. Lin Feng was a little skeptical. Can you do it? Liu Bo promised solemnly. Brother, believe me. Lin Feng began to take out the grill and the baking tray, and then prepare the ingredients and so on. Zhang Yuxi took the baby to take a nap. Sibao was worried and repeatedly reminded Zhang Yuxi, I want to eat grilled lamb skewers. Call me when mom is ready. Zhang Yuxi laughed, it's still early. Don't worry, I will definitely wake you up to eat together. Sibao then reluctantly laid down. Now everything is ready, just waiting for Liu Bo and Lan to come. The pregnant Lan is much fatter than before, and her complexion is very good. As soon as she entered the house, she sat on the sofa and said lazily, call me when it's done. Then she started watching a drama that didn't require much thought, while eating melon seeds and fruits. Raymond Lam, Zhang Yuxi and Liu Bo started to process the whole sheep. Raymond Lam called Zhang Yuxi into the house. Wife, this sheep smells strong, you go back to the house. Zhang Yuxi really couldn't get used to the smell. Okay, call me when it's done. So she went to the living room to chat with her bestie. Liu Bo had all the tools ready. Brother, what do you think we should do with this sheep? Raymond Lam had the skills of a master chef and told Liu Bo how to process the sheep. Liu Bo has gained some weight in the past few years, and his belly has grown. Compared with Raymond Lam, it's like heaven and earth. Obviously, he also works hard every day. He works from dawn to dusk. After having Lan, he takes care of the family while balancing his career. After all, his bestie's husband is so outstanding, he has to do his best to give Lan the best. He is afraid that when they compare, Lan will be angry and want to divorce. Well, that's right. His wife has already thought about divorce. Lan's thoughts were erratic and elusive, and Liu Bo still hadn't figured it out. Lin Feng put on an apron and held out his hand. Give me the axe. Liu Bo handed it to Lin Feng and wiped the sweat off his head. Lin Feng chopped off the sheep's head in a few strokes, and then chopped off the sheep's limbs and hooves. Liu Bo couldn't help but envy. Brother, you are so strong. Lin Feng said lightly, I exercise occasionally. When he was free, Lin Feng would go to the gym to exercise for an hour. Men, when they are energetic, always need something to divert their attention. Liu Bo began to envy again and touched his belly. I will exercise later too. Lin Feng waved the tool and Liu Bo helped him. The two of them worked for more than half an hour before they finished the sheep. Pick out the lamb chops, separate the elbows. Lin Feng packed a lamb elbow and a few lamb chops for Liu Bo. When you go back, take this back and give it to Lan to cook. If you don't know how to cook, take it to the store and ask Xiao Bao to cook it. Liu Bo was not polite. Thank you, brother. Over there, Lan had been craving for a long time and asked, is it ready? How long do I have to wait? My stomach is growling. Liu Bo replied, I'll cook it right away. Lan stopped asking and continued to watch the drama. Zhang Yuxi was folding clothes on the side, looking at the drama and asked, aren't you cold wearing such thin clothes? Lan shook her head, I'm still hot. Zhang Yuxi then remembered that the body temperature of pregnant women is higher than that of normal people. She counted Lan's days and asked casually, do you want a son or a daughter? And Lan looked indifferent. It's alright, I don't have any requirements. By the way, where are you going to spend the new year? Zhang Yuxi shook her head. I don't know yet. I can't go back to Shanghai. My parents are busy this year. And Lan smiled and said, then spend the new year in Guangzhou. My parents will come over and won't leave. Some time ago, Enlan's mother had been taking care of Enlan. Later, she went back to Shanghai for something. She was worried about her daughter and planned to find an aunt. Enlan, who had always been spoiled, was not spoiled at this moment. She said that she would live in the store, Shang Xiaolong would make nutritious meals, and she could eat anything. Liu Bo would also accompany her, which she thought was good. The most important thing. She wanted to cultivate a relationship with Liu Bo, and always felt that the two of them lacked a sense of fit. Zhang Yuxi thought for a while, we'll see when the time comes. We want to take the babies out for a walk. And Lan pouted unhappily, okay then. Chapter 339 Liu Qing's Troubles. At this time, they could already smell the aroma. And Lan, who had been absent-minded, suddenly became energetic. Oh, they're starting to roast. Let's go. Zhang Yuxi looked at the time, I'll go wake up the kids. When Zhang Yuxi went upstairs, she saw Sibao was already wearing pajamas, and Erbao and Dabao were also up. Only Sanbao was still drowsy. Sibao asked greedily, Mom, is there anything delicious? Zhang Yuxi woke up Sanbao, yes, Dad is roasting lamb in the yard, you guys go and have a taste. Erbao cheered, wow, I love roasted lamb the most. The three huskies went downstairs with a clatter. Sanbao didn't want to get up, and stretched out her hand for Zhang Yuxi to hold her. Zhang Yuxi picked up Sanbao and dressed her. Mom. I had a dream. Oh, what dream? We turned into big monsters. Wow, really? And what else? I forgot. After dressing Sanbao, Zhang Yuxi said with a smile, go, Godmother and others are here today. Sanbao lay on Zhang Yuxi's bed, rolling around. No, I want to wait for Mom to go down together. Zhang Yuxi showed a helpless expression. She had to hold Sanbao, who was in a daze, and walk downstairs. The smell of grilled mutton skewers was so good that Sanbao was refreshed. There was a grill pan on the seat outside. And Lan leaned against the mutton slices, ate the mutton skewers, and greeted Zhang Yuxi. The four treasures had already started eating, blowing and impatiently putting them in their mouths. Wow, it's so delicious. It smells so good, Dad, you made it so delicious, I love Dad the most. Mom, come and eat. Sister, brother, come. Erbao and Sanbao also sat on small stools to eat. Mutton is the main flavor. During the trip, Liu Bo also went to the supermarket and bought chicken feet, chicken wings, and chicken wings. The two men roasted them, and the babies and women were responsible for eating. Zhang Yuxi ate while feeding her husband. Wife, eat quickly, don't worry about me. That won't do. Liu Bo looked at his wife who was as comfortable as a cat, and silently took a string and ate it. Jiang Ming brought a sheep and the cleaned internal organs. This Lin Feng made mutton soup, and everyone drank a bowl, and their bodies were warm. After Lin Feng cleaned his essence and marrow, he didn't feel that the weather was so cold. It was okay for him to go out in single clothes. Zhang Yuxi thought that Lin Feng was full of blood and hot temper. While cooking and eating, it was dark in a short while. Lin Feng didn't have to cook dinner at all, and everyone was full. But it was still early, and if the adults didn't eat, the babies would definitely eat. So I made 1,000-layer pancake. And Lan came over, Boss Lin, I want to eat too. Lin Feng also cooked millet porridge, and everyone had a share, as well as 1,000-layer cakes. And Lan couldn't help but envy Zhang Yuxi. With such an all-round chef at home, what can she eat? After dinner, Lan was too lazy to move, but she had to leave temporarily. Except for the small room on the first floor, which can be lived in. The rooms on the second floor are all children's rooms. The decoration is done, but it takes a while to ventilate, and it can be moved in at the end of the month. So, I had to go back. Monday. This is the last day of class. In the afternoon, when picking up the children from school, the parents will have a parent-teacher meeting. Zhang Yuxi adjusted her class in advance just to attend the parents' meeting on this day. When she arrived at the school, the babies were playing in the playground, and Teacher Li was presiding over the meeting. She summarized the learning content of this semester, what the babies have gained and grown, and what learning plans were arranged next, etc. After the parent-teacher meeting, The teacher asked the babies to return to the classroom and carry their small school bags. When they left, they took the flowers they planted. Have fun during the winter vacation, kids. Remember what the teacher said before. Okay, have all the parents signed? Please tear off the notes, thank you. Zhang Yuxi asked Liu Qing, what should Xianxin do this week? Liu Qing is still on probation. Lin Feng has asked the principal and is willing to become a regular employee next semester. There is still 1 week before the students have a complete vacation. As luck would have it, Liu Qing's family has been working as a nanny for more than 2 years, but she resigned because of her daughter-in-law's childbirth. Although she is reluctant to let her go, she will have to take care of her grandson in the future, so she can't be forced to stay. Liu Qing frowned, I can only leave the child at my mother's house. Xianxin was immediately unhappy when she heard this. Mom, I don't want to go to Grandma's house. How about going to Grandma's house? This time Xianxin resisted even more. No, Xianxin doesn't want to go to Grandma's house, Xianxin wants to follow Mom. Liu Qing frowned, but my mother-in-law is gone. Xianxin said with a little temper, no matter what, I want to follow Mom and not go anywhere. Seeing this, Zhang Yuxi hurriedly said, how about this, let Xianxin live in our house during this period. Liu Qing must pass by the Rose New District when she goes to work. Zhang Yuxi suggested that she leave Xianxin here in the morning and pick her up after get off work in the evening. Liu Qing was grateful, then I'm sorry to trouble you. Zhang Yuxi shook her head, no. Xianxin was happy now. On the way back, Zhang Yuxi told Lin Feng about this. Hubby, I'm sorry, I took this matter without asking for your opinion. After all, it was Lin Feng who took care of the children, not her. Lin Feng smiled, it's not a big deal, it's just one more person to take care of. It's just a holiday, the babies have friends to play with, it's good. Zhang Yuxi was touched, husband, you are so nice. Lin Feng laughed, it's just a small matter. The flowers planted by the babies are in full bloom. Lin Feng put them at the door and told the babies that they were still responsible for watering. The babies had no objection. The next day, Liu Qing left her daughter Xianxin at Lin Feng's house while she was at work. The babies were eating at this time. Xianxin was a little embarrassed to ask Lin Feng, Uncle, can I eat a little? Lin Feng smiled and said, of course no problem. During the meal, I learned that because there was no aunt to make breakfast, and Liu Qing was not good at cooking. So the mother and daughter had to go out to eat. Either porridge buns, or soy milk and fried dough sticks. Xianxin wanted to eat toast, but Zio didn't have any of these, so she ate very little for breakfast. After dinner, Erbao took Xianxin to see her princess room. Dad said we can't move in a few days, it's poisonous. Yes, it will be poisonous if you smell it, and you will die. Xianxin was shocked, really? Erbao nodded solemnly. Then he comforted Xianxin, don't be afraid, we can take a look. Dabao and Sibao also took Xianxin to visit their rooms. Xianxin exclaimed, so cool. This made Dabao and Sibao very happy. Sanbao said, do you want to see my room? Xianxin agreed happily, of course. Sanbao's room is the ocean world. The wallpaper used by Boss Luo is not the kind of Gaussian blur, the patterns are very clear. Xianxin looked envious, I also want to have a room like this. Sanbao said, Dad said that I can change it to Princess Bubble or Rainbow Bunny in the future. Xianxin nodded, it can also be changed to Barbie doll. Sanbao nodded excitedly. Xianxin is still very well behaved and plays well with the babies. Sometimes when I miss my mother, I will video chat with Liu Qing, Mom, you will come back to pick me up, right? Of course, I will come to pick you up after get off work. Of course, you can't go back on your word. Of course. Chapter 340 Sweet Dad. Lin Feng also prepared dinner for Liu Qing and her daughter. Liu Qing was a little embarrassed. It's really too much trouble for you to help us look after the children and cook for us. Lin Feng smiled and said, it's just adding an extra set of bowls and chopsticks. Liu Qing looked at the delicious food and couldn't resist the temptation to sit down with her daughter. At the dinner table, Lin Feng took the initiative to suggest that they can also have breakfast here. People are kind, but you can't ask for more. Liu Qing declined Lin Feng's kindness. Xianxin drank a big bowl of porridge this morning and said she didn't like to eat breakfast outside. When children are growing up, it's most important to eat well. Liu Qing agreed shamelessly for her daughter. The next day, Liu Qing and Shi Anshan came to Lin Feng's house. Come and eat, the rice is being served. Today Lin Feng cooked peanut soy milk porridge and fried a sunny-side-up egg for the babies. He also fried 2 vegetarian dishes and snacks. It is said that you should eat a good breakfast, a full lunch, and a small dinner. Lin Feng's breakfast is the most attentive. Liu Qing once again silently envied Zhang Yuxi's husband and sighed deeply in her heart. Shi Anshan ate with relish and said that the food cooked by Lin Feng was delicious. She wanted to eat the food cooked by Lin Feng all the time. On the 4th day, Shi Anshan was obviously unhappy while eating breakfast. She pouted her little mouth and looked a little depressed. Her unhappy little face made people feel distressed. Lin Feng asked, "What's wrong with you?" Shi Anshan sighed like a little adult. "Oh, Dad and Mom had a fight." "Fight?" The 4 treasures were a little surprised, because Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi would never fight. They had never seen them fight. Sanbao asked in confusion, "Why are you quarreling?" Shi Anshan held her chin and said, "Because Daddy doesn't come home. He hasn't come home for a long time. Every time he lied to me and Mom, saying he would be back soon, but every time he said he was too busy at work and had to make money, so he couldn't come back. He said he would make money to buy Shi Anshan delicious food and the most beautiful Barbie doll. But Shi Anshan doesn't want a Barbie doll, Shi Anshan wants Daddy." The last sentence made people feel very sad and distressed. Since the 4 treasures could remember, Raymond Lam has been with him. It's rare that he doesn't come home, and even if he does, he only comes back for 1 or 2 days. One time was the honeymoon after the wedding, and the other time was when the 2 went to a hot spring. With their father accompanying them, they couldn't understand Shi Anshan's longing for her father. Lin Feng lovingly touched Shi Anshan's head. "Shi Anshan, what do you want to eat today? Uncle will make it for you." Shi Anshan immediately said, "I want shrimp balls." Lin Feng smiled and said, "Okay, Uncle will make it for you." Shi Anshan was envious. "Uncle, it would be great if my dad was like you." This Lin Feng had no answer. At noon, the babies ate shrimp ball noodles. Lin Feng himself ate braised beef. After finishing the work, he played with the babies for a while and let them take a nap. Lin Feng would also sleep for half an hour. He was awakened by Liu Qing's call. It said that Shi Anshan's father, Zhang Yuxi, would come to the house to pick up Shi Anshan in a while. Lin Feng couldn't sleep either. He just went downstairs and heard the phone ringing. The surveillance showed that there was a man outside. "Hello, I am Shi Anshan's father, Zhang Yuxi. I am here to take my daughter home." After Lin Feng opened the door, he said lightly, "Come in." Zhang Yuxi was nearly 1.8 meters tall, half a head shorter than Lin Feng. Although he is a handsome man, he looks dull when standing next to Lin Feng. Lin Feng is wearing his pajamas. After waiting for Zhang Yuxi to sit down, he asked, "Do you want tea or water?" Zhang Yuxi looked at him calmly and said, "Water, thank you." Lin Feng poured him some water and cut some fruit. "Where's Shi Anshan?" "She's taking a nap upstairs. She will probably be up in half an hour." Zhang Yuxi said gratefully, "I heard from Liu Qing that I have troubled you these days." Lin Feng smiled and said, "Liu Qing and I were classmates in junior high school. She is now a colleague of my wife. Our children are in the same class, so it's not a big deal." While talking, Lin Feng went to the kitchen to squeeze juice. He baked small bread for the babies. He looked at the time. "They should wake up. I'll go wake them up." Zhang Yuxi stood up. "I'll go with you." When they went up to the master bedroom on the 3rd floor, they saw a row of small beds. Zhang Yuxi was shocked to see the 4 babies. His wife and daughter did not tell him about this. The first person Lin Feng woke up was Shi Anshan. "Shi Anshan, your dad is here." Shi Anshan was originally dazed, but she woke up all of a sudden after hearing it. "Dad? Where is Dad?" Zhang Yuxi glanced at her daughter. "Shi Anshan, Dad is here." Shi Anshan got off the crib and threw herself into Zhang Yuxi's arms. "Dad, Shi Anshan misses you so much." "Dad misses you too." "Dad is a liar. Dad said he would be back today. You see, Dad didn't lie to you." "Humph." Lin Feng woke up the babies one by one. Without exception, Sanbao called softly, "Dad." Lin Feng dressed Sanbao. Sanbao leaned softly in Lin Feng's arms. "Dad is the best." Sanbao's personality is the most peaceful. And she is also very generous. She will give her brothers and sisters nothing if they want anything from her. She only cares about having it once, not about forever. And Sanbao doesn't want to have anything she doesn't care about. What's more, Sanbao's personality is very likable, and her brothers and sisters are very accommodating to her. Therefore, when Sanbao gets the special love from Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi, her brothers and sisters will not say anything. Sometimes, they would take the initiative to take care of this little sister. The third child became more and more spoiled. Xianchen said proudly, "This is my dad." The four children all greeted Shen Yuqing, "Hello, uncle." Shen Yuqing was embarrassed. "Look, this is my first time here, I didn't bring anything." Lin Feng smiled, "No, we don't have this." Shen Yuqing wanted to take Xianchen home. Xianchen said she didn't want to go home, she wanted to wait for her mother to come back and go home together. Xianchen raised her little face and said, "Mom said that after work is over today, she can accompany me." Shen Yuqing smiled and said, "Okay, we will wait for Mom to come together." Lin Feng brought a warm juice and small bread. Who wants to eat? Without exception, the babies all wanted to eat. Because the juice was a little sour after being warmed, Lin Feng added a little sugar to the small bread. The babies ate, and Xianchen fed her father. "Thank you, Xianchen." Xianchen said with sparkling eyes, "Dad, Uncle's cooking is super delicious." Xianchen and Mom like Uncle's cooking the most. "Mom." Xianchen nodded heavily, "Dad, can you cook?" Seeing his daughter's expectant look, Shen Yuqing shook his head. Xianchen pouted her lips, "No. Dad is so stupid." Shen Yuqing said quickly, "Dad can learn." Xianchen was happy then. Bao came over and said, Xianchen said that her mother-in-law left, and she and Aunt Taozi have no food to eat, so pitiful. Sibao swallowed the bread. "Uncle, you will cook for Xianchen later. Dads are very good at cooking." Bao and Sibao are the most nosy. Moreover, Sibao's words must be misunderstood. It's not that dads can cook, but that Lin Feng can cook. In their opinion, Zhang Yuxi and Liu Qing, as mothers, can't cook. Then don't dads have to cook? Xianchen looked at Shen Yuqing with sparkling eyes. Shen Yuqing said with a stiff face, "Dad will learn." Chapter 341 Heading to Suzhou and Hangzhou. Here, Lin Feng has already started preparing ingredients for dinner. He plans to make spicy dry pot duck. The babies will have golden fried rice with sea base, lotus seed and tripe soup, and 2 vegetables. Lin Feng started to work in the kitchen, asking the babies to do chores for him. The 4 babies gathered around the dining table and did things according to Lin Feng's instructions. They were playing and making noises while doing things, and Shen Yuqing also came to help. Seeing how clumsy he was, he must have never been in the kitchen before. Even his own daughter Xianchen disliked him. "Dad, this is how you do it. You're so stupid." After Lin Feng finished processing the duck in the kitchen, the babies also prepared the side dishes. "Thank you, little cuties." "You're welcome." The babies played together, and Shen Yuqing felt a little uncomfortable sitting in the living room. After a moment of hesitation, he went into the kitchen. "Is there anything I can help with?" Lin Feng shook his head. "I'm almost done here, there's nothing I need help with." Shen Yuqing left with some embarrassment. With nothing to do, he had to play with the babies. After a while, the door rang. The babies stood up in unison and ran towards the door together. Shen Yuqing followed. Zhang Yuxi and Liu Qing came back. When Shen Yuqing saw Zhang Yuxi, a flash of surprise flashed across her eyes. The 4 babies said excitedly, "Mom, Xianchen dad is here." Zhang Yuxi hugged the 4 babies. "Really? One of the rituals of returning home. You must hug each baby and kiss their foreheads." Liu Qing picked up her daughter and asked with a smile, "Were you good at Auntie's house today?" Xianchen nodded obediently, "Good." Then she pointed at Shen Yuqing and said happily, "Dad is back." Liu Qing's smile gradually disappeared when she looked at her husband. "You're here." Lin Feng's voice came from the kitchen, "It's time to eat." Shen Yuqing wanted to say that she would not disturb them, and the family would go out to eat. It can be seen that the daughter's eyes began to light up when she heard about eating. In the end, she said nothing and followed silently. The babies wanted to eat sea base, and the task of removing the fish bones must belong to Lin Feng. After a while, Lin Feng separated all the fish meat and put it back in a small bowl. While taking advantage of this time, Lin Feng asked the babies to drink the lotus seed and beef tripe soup first. Each baby had a small bowl, not much, and the taste was light. They could still accept it. After eating the soup, they could officially eat. Lin Feng also returned to the adults' table and found that they were all waiting for him to start eating. The dry pot duck made by Lin Feng was naturally delicious. Liu Qing was a little embarrassed to eat for free before. But for Lin Feng's cooking skills, what does it matter if she is thick-skinned? Eating is the most important thing. After Liu Qing came back and greeted Shen Yuqing, she never looked at him again. Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi were as happy as usual. "Wife, this is duck feet. Wife, this is duck wings, I specially saved a whole one for you. Wife, this is duck legs, and it's still attached to the skin." Liu Qing. I don't know why, this scene is so heartbreaking. Shen Yuqing silently picked up another duck wing that he found and gave it to Liu Qing. Liu Qing. In short, the meal was over. After packing up, Liu Qing and her family of 3 went home. Before leaving, Liu Qing asked, "Boss Lin, Yuxi, if there is a suitable aunt, please introduce me to one. There is still more than a month before school starts, and it is even more difficult to recruit people during the Chinese New Year. For someone who is used to having an aunt, life will be very difficult without an aunt." Zhang Yuxi nodded, "Okay, I'll keep an eye on it." Shen Yuqing said very politely and apologetically, "I'm sorry to have caused you trouble during this period." Zhang Yuxi waved her hand, "How can I cause trouble? They are all friends and fellow villagers." Watching the family of 3 leave, Zhang Yuxi sighed. Lin Feng hugged her from behind. "Why are you sighing?" Zhang Yuxi didn't answer directly, but only said, "Honey, I have a day off tomorrow. Do we have any activities planned?" Lin Feng really didn't think about this in detail. "What are your plans?" Zhang Yuxi said with a smile, "I want to spend some time with the babies. Take them out to play." Lin Feng thought for a moment, "Then let's go to Disneyland." Lin Feng originally planned to go there during the Chinese New Year. He put it on the schedule in advance because there were too many people during the Chinese New Year. Zhang Yuxi was excited when she heard it. "Wow, great, I haven't been there for many years." Lin Feng also smiled and said, "Me too." He went there once when he was a child. Later, he grew up and was no longer a child, so he didn't like it that much. Besides, there is no Disney in Guangzhou. Only Shanghai. Taking this opportunity, we can also go to Suzhou and Hangzhou to see Yuzheng. After all, since they moved to their new home, Lin Feng has not been to their house to sit. Zhang Yuxi was as happy as a child and told the babies the good news. In return, the babies screamed. Zhang Yuxi said loudly, "Hubby, let's go pack up." Then she urged the babies, hurry up, let's go pack up." Lin Feng shook his head and laughed. "Open the app to check the air tickets. There are many flights to big cities, and now it's past 7 o'clock. There are direct flights after 9 o'clock, after 11 o'clock, and at 1 o'clock in the morning. Not to mention how many flights there are with transfers." Lin Feng bought a flight at 11 o'clock, and also booked a hotel not far from the airport. The hotel has a pickup service, which is also convenient for them to take a taxi to find a hotel. "I plan to stay for one night and visit my aunt's house the next day. I'll take Chuan with me." I packed my luggage and handed it to Zhang Yuxi and the babies. Lin Feng sent Dabe and Fifa to the last foster pet shop. I hurried back and closed the windows at home, and turned off the water and gas. After that, I called the property management and said that I was going out for a while and asked them to take care of it. After packing all this, it was already past 8 o'clock. Zhang Yuxi not only packed her luggage, but also put on her clothes, looking like she was waiting to go out. Lin Feng changed into a coat, put on a scarf, and roughly checked the suitcase. "No problem, we can set off." After more than 2 hours of flight, we arrived in Suzhou and Hangzhou. The hotel has already sent a pickup service. After returning to the hotel and packing up, the babies were so tired that they fell asleep on the bed. It was already past midnight. The babies slept until almost noon. Long before, Lin Feng called Sun Ro, in case she was not there when he returned. Horizontal ellipsis. Chapter 342. Visit Yu Zhang's family. After the babies got up, they started to complain that they were hungry and wanted to eat. Lin Feng took the children to eat some in the hotel. The babies obviously didn't like these and stopped eating after a few bites. Fortunately, Lin Feng had a trick up his sleeve. "Let's go to my aunt's house, where they made porridge." He was worried that the babies wouldn't eat well outside, so he called Sun Ro and asked her to make some porridge. They took a taxi to their aunt's house. They live in the south and there is no heating. But there are elderly people and children at home, so the air conditioner is on all day. After entering, Pan Zhang's voice came from the living room, "You're back, I'll serve you food right away. Sunrose house is a duplex. The first floor is the living room, kitchen, dining room and a small bedroom. A few steps up to the second floor are the master bedroom and the second bedroom. The master bedroom does not have a bathroom. This house was bought by Yu Zheng before, and the price is more than 10,000 yuan per square meter. The housing prices in Suzhou and Hangzhou have always been very expensive, and this house is not far from the city center, which makes it even more expensive. As soon as Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi got home, they took off the babies' coats. The whole family was there, and Chuan had just had a holiday. Yu Zheng smiled and said, "Okay, take your brother and sister to wash their hands, we'll have dinner soon." Chuan took the 4 children to wash their hands. Lin Feng took off his coat and asked, "Brother, where's the eldest aunt?" "She's lying in the room. She hasn't been feeling well lately. I'll go see her." Zhang Yuxi followed him. When they entered, the eldest aunt was getting dressed, and Lin Feng went to help. The eldest aunt had lost a lot of weight, and she smiled immediately when she saw Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi coming. "You're here, have you eaten?" Lin Feng replied, "I ate a little. The food outside is not as good as what I cook at home. Sister Sunro is almost done." The eldest aunt smiled and said, "It's not as good as what I cook outside. I want to see the children, they must have grown taller." The children were already sitting at the dining table, and the eldest aunt smiled when she saw them. "You all look so good." Lin Feng said to the 4 children, "This is Auntie, say hello." The 4 children had an impression of Auntie, and they all called her Auntie obediently. The eldest aunt agreed with joy. Sunro served porridge to each baby, all of which were light and delicious. Their family was small, so all the tables were only suitable for 6 people. So the babies were moved to the living room to eat. At the dinner table, Yu Zheng smiled and said, "I remember you haven't been here for many years." Lin Feng nodded, "I was here on the day of Chuan's birth. Just now, I saw that this place has changed a lot." Yu Zheng smiled and said, "It's been more than 10 years, and your child is 3 years old. How can it not change a lot?" Sunro asked, "Why did you suddenly come to Suzhou and Hangzhou?" "Yuzai is on vacation, and I want to take the children out for a walk, so I want to go to Disneyland to play. I passed by Suzhou and Hangzhou, so I thought of coming to see you." "That's good. If you come during the Chinese New Year, there will be so many people there." "That's right, I don't want to join a crowd." "Then let's go early tomorrow morning and come back at night." "Okay." After dinner, Chuan took the 4 babies to his room. There is a small attic on the second floor, which is full of his toys. Chuan said, "Let me show you this, it's very interesting." Chuan likes Lego blocks and built a transformer. Dabao, who likes transformers the most, stared at it with his eyes wide open. Dabao came downstairs and pulled Lin Feng to see it. "Dad, look, transformers." Lin Feng praised Chuan for his good assembly and said, "I'll buy it for you when Dad gets home." The children played with their own things, while the adults sat in the living room and chatted. After eating, the eldest aunt sat for a while and then laid down again. Lin Feng poured a glass of water for the eldest aunt and secretly took out the pills rewarded by the system and put them in. Eldest aunt. The eldest aunt was confused at this time. "Lin Feng? What's wrong with you, kid?" Lin Feng helped the eldest aunt sit up. "Eldest aunt, come, drink a glass of water before going to sleep." The eldest aunt shook her head. "Kid, I don't want to drink water now." Lin Feng coaxed her. "It's not much, eldest aunt, it will be gone in a few sips." The eldest aunt still loved Lin Feng, and also loved Xiaoji. She opened her eyes, gulped down a few mouthfuls and asked, "What is this?" Lin Feng said, "Is it delicious?" "It tastes good. Go to sleep, I'll cook you something delicious when you get up." The aunt had eaten the food Lin Feng had cooked before, so she nodded. "Okay, cook braised fish for aunt. Don't make it too strong, aunt will have heartburn." "Okay, go to sleep, aunt." The aunt fell asleep unknowingly. Lin Feng came out, went to the kitchen to wash the water cup and put it away, and went to the living room again. They were talking about the new year. Yu Zheng said, "We can't go back this year. The old man is sick and can't leave." "What about you? Will you go out to play or go back to Michang for the new year this year?" Zhang Yuxi shook her head. "I don't know yet. It's up to Lin Feng to arrange it." Sunro smiled and said, "Listen to his arrangements. Where do you want to go? He will definitely agree to your wishes." As he was talking, Lin Feng sat down. We plan to stay in Sanaya for a few days. Lin Feng bought a beach villa in Sanaya and felt envious. Sunro recalled, we haven't been to Sanaya yet. How about we go there when mom gets better? Lin Feng had no objection. Okay, you can stay at my house then. Sunro said immediately, okay, that's it. Let's let mom see the sea by the way. She's in Suzhou and Hangzhou all year round and hasn't been anywhere else. Yu Zhang nodded, we'll talk about it then. Sunro mentioned Lin Xiaolin again, she gave birth to a daughter. How did she deal with that Song Yi? After the incident with Lin Xiaolin, Lin Dahu and Lin Rui really didn't contact Lin Xiaolin again. Lin Don's family didn't want to be annoying. Her biological parents and eldest brother didn't care, so why should they care? As for Lin Deshan, he felt a little bit of pity and sympathy for Lin Xiaolin. As a result, Lin Xiaolin was like crazy, thinking that the Lin family were not good people. So far, Lin Deshan didn't think he had this niece. Lin Feng didn't know what was going on. Lin Feng said calmly, I don't know. Lin Xiaolin has left the family group. No one in the group mentioned it, and I didn't ask. As a woman, Sunro couldn't help but sigh. What made her most emotional was Feng Yuan. After leaving Lin Xiaolin, his love and career were very successful. I heard that his wife was pregnant with a son. Feng Yuan's family was very kind to the girl. Lin Xiaolin and Feng Yuan really have two different lives now. Chatting until the afternoon, Lin Feng remembered that his aunt wanted to eat his braised fish. Brother, there is a vegetable market behind you. Has it been demolished? It was demolished a long time ago, and a foot massage shop opened. What's wrong? Want to buy vegetables? There are still a lot of vegetables in the refrigerator. My aunt wants to eat the braised fish I made. I'll go buy some fish. This is for your sister-in-law to go. Tell her what you want to buy. When Sunro heard about braised fish, she thought of Lin Feng's craftsmanship and said she wanted to eat it very much. He stood up to get his coat. Go check the refrigerator, I'll buy anything you need. Zhang Yuxi stood up, I'll go with my sister-in-law, and take a look around. Lin Feng looked at the ingredients in the refrigerator, buy some shrimps, and you can also buy some crabs, clams, mantis shrimps, etc. Sunro slapped her forehead, okay. Chapter 343 Enjoy Disneyland. Suzhou and Hangzhou are coastal cities, and the price of seafood is half of that in Michang and Yangchang. Zhang Yuxi followed Sunro to the vegetable market. Sunro came to the charging electric donkey and said, come on, let's ride this today. Zhang Yuxi sat in the back seat and asked, is it far? Not far, it's about 20 minutes by bike. It's not convenient to drive to the vegetable market because there are too many people. The house that Yu Zhang bought is on the second floor, and the balcony of the living room is facing the community. I saw two people sitting on the electric donkey and leaving. After a while, the babies woke up. Lin Feng went over to dress them. Sanbao didn't see Zhang Yuxi and suddenly became nervous. Where's mom? Dad, why is mom missing? Hearing mom is missing, the babies immediately became alert. Lin Feng said, mom went out to buy things and will be back soon. At this time, the sound of the door opening was heard. Lin Feng smiled and said, mom should be back. Sure enough, the voices of Zhang Yuxi and Sunro were heard. Lin Feng held his daughter and son's hands. Let's go and see what mom has bought. Sunro said as she sorted them out, we're having a seafood feast tonight. The babies gathered around. Wow, what a big crab. This one can move, it's alive, and it's blowing bubbles. What is this? It looks like a caterpillar. Dabao asked, Dad, can we keep it? Erbao said pitifully, they are tied up, they look so pitiful. Sanbao also said, why don't we let them go? Lin Feng. Sunro, who was busy, was stunned. I was so busy that I forgot that I shouldn't let the children see this. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said, it's okay, when I bought it, I picked a few small ones from another basin for them to play with. After searching for a long time, Zhang Yuxi found that it was gone. Hey, where's my little crab? Sunro asked, did it fall on the road? No, I was looking for it when I entered the house. The little crab was not tied up, so it must have escaped in the chaos. Zhang Yuxi quickly asked the children to find the crab. Sunro took this opportunity to put the crabs in the kitchen. I helped out myself. Zhang Yuxi took the children to look for crabs in the living room and dining room. Mom bought two. They were still there when I came in. Go find them. Lin Feng, Sunro and Yu Zhang were busy in the kitchen. Zhang Yuxi took the children to look for crabs. The first crab was found. Next was the second one. Zhang Yuxi said, "Okay, you guys decide what to do with it. Mom is a little tired, sit for a while." The children were quickly attracted by the crabs, and Zhang Yuxi went to the kitchen to help. Those who washed crabs, those who washed vegetables, and those who peeled garlic. After more than 2 hours, the seafood feast was ready. The braised fish of the eldest aunt and the meals of the babies were all made separately. Sunro said, "I'll go wake up Mom." After a while, the eldest aunt got up, and her whole spirit was refreshed. Yu Zhang looked at her in surprise. The eldest aunt said with a smile, "I don't know what Lin Feng gave me to drink, but after I got up, I felt more energetic than before, and my whole body was much more relaxed. I don't feel dizzy anymore, and my vision is better than before." Yu Zhang and Sunro both looked at Lin Feng thoughtfully. Lin Feng brought out the braised fish, and, "Come here, braised fish." Smelling the fragrance, Aunt said she was hungry. Lin Feng removed the fish bones from the fish, which stunned Yu Zhang and Sunro. Sunro exclaimed, "How did you do it? It's amazing. Can you teach me? I want to learn too." Yu Zhang said, "Last time Chuan was eating fish, a fish bone got stuck in his throat, and he had to go to the hospital to get it removed." Lin Feng smiled and said, "Okay, I'll teach you then, but it depends on you whether you can learn it." "Okay." It was already past 9 o'clock after eating, and Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi packed up and went to the hotel. There was a hotel just 200 meters away from their community. They discussed leaving at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning and arriving before Disney opened. Back at the hotel, Raymond Lam told the babies to go to sleep quickly, as they had to leave early tomorrow and couldn't sleep in. Raymond Lam started downloading Disney's official app, then bought tickets and read various guides. Some projects require height requirements. The babies are now about 110 cm tall. After all, they have taken nutrient solution twice, and their parents' heights are there. The heights of the 4 babies are much taller than those of 3-year-olds of the same age. Raymond Lam looked around. They can only play Thunder Mountain Rafting, Rope Challenge, Flying Over the Horizon, 7 Dwarfs Mine Train, Woody Cowboy Carnival, etc. Since they are bringing the babies here, they must give priority to the babies. After reading the guide, Raymond Lam laid down to sleep. The next day, the family, including Yu Zhang's family of 3, took a bus directly to Disney. After arriving, it was still early and there were not many people queuing. From a distance, we saw the castle that is the logo of every Disney. The children were so excited. Buy tickets online and enter the park by swiping your ID. Sunro had brought Chuan here to play before, and after entering, Sunro was seen holding everyone's tickets and running to the right at the fastest speed. Yu Zhang explained, she is going to the Maple Story Visitor Service Center to get the FP card for Soaring Over the Horizon. Just as Sunro was queuing, the 3 huskies came out of the cage. Just as they ran away with a chirp. Zhang Yuxi and Lin Feng quickly called the babies to stop and educated them not to run around. After a while, Sunro was like a winner and got the FD card. Next, it was to play Disney under the leadership of Sunro's family of 3. The first thing to play was Soaring Over the Horizon. Zhang Yuxi took the 3 huskies and Sunro in first. After about 5 minutes, they came out. Dabeo and Sabeo were so happy, only Zhang Yuxi had a little worry on her face. "Honey, it's fun. But the sense of weightlessness is quite strong inside. I'm worried about Sanbeo's situation." Lin Feng thought about it and told Erbeo and Sanbeo about the situation inside. Erbeo is still good at challenges and thinks he should go and have a look. Sanbeo hesitated and asked, "Dad will protect Sanbeo, right?" "Yes, Dad will protect Sanbeo." Sanbeo smiled sweetly, "Then Sanbeo won't be afraid." After that, Lin Feng took them in, and Sanbeo held Lin Feng's hand tightly throughout the whole process. "Don't be afraid, Dad will protect Sanbeo." Yu Zhang and Chuan followed behind him. At first, the feeling of flying up and down in the sky made Lin Feng feel fun. But he was very worried about Erbeo and Sanbeo. Erbeo's eyes were sparkling, and it seemed that he liked to play very much. Sanbeo covered his eyes. "Dad, it's so high." Lin Feng coaxed her, "It's okay, just cover your eyes and we won't look." When people around said there was an elephant, Sanbeo couldn't help but secretly look through his fingers. After a while, he felt that this feeling was fun. Zhang Yuxi was waiting outside worriedly, and Sunro had already gone to line up for the seven dwarfs mine car. Wait for Lin Feng to come out. Seeing that Erbao and Sanbao looked very happy, she was relieved. Lin Feng said, neither of them resisted particularly. Sanbao was a little scared at first, but later he was no longer afraid. Zhang Yuxi praised her daughter, Sanbao is awesome. Mua, mom loves you. Sanbao smiled sweetly. The tourists on the side were envious and wanted to have such a cute baby. But after seeing the looks of the parents, forget it. The good-looking children are all from other families. They came to the seven dwarfs mine car, 2 people in a row. The most courageous Dabao and Sibao sat together. Erbao sat with Zhang Yuxi. Lin Feng sat with Sanbao. It was like a roller coaster, and everyone in the car was laughing and shouting throughout the ride. Sanbao was still the same. I opened my eyes when I was scared, and closed my eyes when I was scared. Then, they suddenly walked into the cave. Inside was the 7 dwarfs digging treasure in the ore. The lights were colorful, and the treasures were glowing diamonds. The dwarfs sang songs, and the speed of the car slowed down at this time. Then, after leaving the cave, the small mine cart suddenly accelerated. It was so exciting. Sanbao screamed, which scared Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi in front of him. As a result, they didn't expect that he was happy. Sanbao was so happy. After coming down, Sanbao smiled and said, Dad, it's so fun. Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi couldn't help but laugh. Since they were bringing their babies to Disney, they followed them throughout the whole process. For example, when they went to see ice and snow, the scene was very beautiful. When the babies had almost finished playing, they took the opportunity to let Yu Zhang watch the children. Lin Feng, Zhang Yuxi and Sun Ro took Chuan Chuan to play. If the children were older, it would be more fun, and they couldn't participate in many things. However, there were still things for them to play here, and they were all very beautiful. The babies liked it very much. Especially at night, it was dazzling and gorgeous here. The whole person seemed to be in a fairy tale. In the evening, they took the subway back after a day of playing. The babies were still not satisfied and wanted to go again tomorrow. Okay, let's go tomorrow. The next day, they played for another day. This is the end of the Disney trip. When we returned to the hotel, the whole family was exhausted. The babies laid down for a while and fell asleep like little pigs. Zhang Yuxi was confused. Honey, should we go back? Stay a few more days. Chapter 344 missed 100 million. In a blink of an eye, it was the Chinese New Year. Lin Feng still chose to stay in Michang from the 1st to the 5th day of the Chinese New Year. Then he took the children to Sanaya for fun. The only difference between this year's Chinese New Year and the usual days was that Lin Xiaolin was missing. On the 2nd day of the Chinese New Year, married daughters would return to their parents' home. Lin Xiaolin did not come back. Instead, it was the third aunt who went to find her and gave her a few thousand yuan. The third aunt secretly told Zhou Qilin about this, saying that she went to see her granddaughter. It was said before that the men of the Lin family would take everyone out to play during the Chinese New Year every year. All expenses were covered. It started with Yu Zhang. Among several places to choose from, Yu Zhang was extremely lucky and chose Micheng. And he wrote this himself. Each family can choose a representative. When writing down the places they want to go for the Chinese New Year, Yu Zhang wrote Micheng. Everyone was shocked. Yu Zhang hurriedly explained, you saw it. I caught it with my eyes closed. I don't know what was written on it. Lin Rui sighed, why do I feel like I missed 100 million? Lin Jiajin also sighed, it would be a pity if I don't buy a lottery ticket with this luck. Yu Zhang was very proud. Yes, I'll buy a lottery ticket later. Sunro smiled and opened the other paper balls. Maldives. Oh my god, who wrote it? Lin Rui said with a smile, I wrote it. It's still Maldives? Who wrote it? Lin Jiajin laughed, I wrote it. Sunro opened another one, Maldives? Who wrote it? Lin Dun stood up, I wrote it. Lin Dahu, Lin Deshan, Lin Feng and Xiaoji all wrote Maldives. Yu Zhang was shocked, did you collude? No wonder they were so shocked when he caught Mei Cheng just now. Lin Rui sighed, you are so lucky. Yu Zhang patted his chest, looking relieved. Immediately, he smiled, Lin Rui, don't smile, it's your turn next. Lin Rui's smile froze on his face. Lin Jiajin patted his shoulder and said earnestly, Brother Rui, whether we can go to Maldives next time depends on you. Yu Zhang followed suit, that's right, whether we can go next time depends on our brother Rui's luck. Lin Feng also said, Brother Rui, make more money in a few years, after all, so many people go. Zhang Yuxi said with a smile, Brother Rui, come on. Lin Dahu didn't feel sorry for his son, haha, we will enjoy the new year next year. Lin Da nodded, yes, I'm looking forward to the new year next year. Lin Rui. This year, Mi Cheng held a unique lantern festival. After getting the news, the family drove there for the excitement. This year, the New Year atmosphere in Mi Cheng is much stronger than in previous years, and it is quite lively. In a blink of an eye, the New Year is over, and the babies ushered in the start of the next semester. Sign up and hold a parent meeting. Several students transferred to the class this time, and several new students joined. Seeing that the class will officially start tomorrow, it seems that it is time to cut the hair of the sons. Dabao didn't like going to the barber shop to get his hair cut before, and he was very resistant to it after several times. So Lin Feng bought a silent shaving tool for children online. When the blade touches the hand, it only feels tingling and itchy, which is very safe. In this way, the job of cutting the baby's hair fell on him. After all, he has some skills. At first, he only shaved a 3-centimeter flat head. Dabao and Sibao's looks are very durable, and the small flat head can't cover their cuteness. But they are already 3 years old, and Lin Feng wondered if he should change his hairstyle. Lin Feng looked for something like boys' hairstyles on the internet and discussed it with Zhang Yuxi. It's handsome, it's good looking, but it's better to be practical first. The baby's hair grows fast, and summer came not long after the spring. Sweating a lot, it's uncomfortable to have long hair. So, I thought about it. Let's go for the side bangs that are popular among adults and children. The layered hair is combed down naturally. The hair on the other two sides is super short, and you can add modern and popular carvings. That's it. The first one is Sibao's practice. Even if he fails the first time, he won't make a fuss the second time. Although he's naughty, Sibao has a very good personality. Zhang Yuxi and other babies watch curiously. Lin Feng has some skills, so the first haircut was perfect. Use tools to make a carving. Sibao suddenly became handsome and cool. After it was over, Lin Feng couldn't help but sigh. He is worthy of being my son, so handsome. Sibao also said conceitedly, yeah, Sibao is handsome, and Dad is handsome too. Next is Dabao. Lin Feng thought about it and said to Zhang Yuxi, Dabao is so strong, let's change his hairstyle. Zhang Yuxi pointed to discovery in the photo and said, honey, it's better to have this one, it's well behaved. Lin Feng thought it was good. Dabao pursed his lips and sat on it with a look of fearlessness. Alice, it's always like this when I cut hair. Raymond Lam is an experienced man, and he cut Dabao's hair in no time. Dabao breathed a sigh of relief. How could Erbao, who is joining in the fun, forget her? Daddy, Erbao wants a haircut too. Erbao and Sanbao both have long hair, which makes it very convenient to dress them up every time. Raymond Lam asked, what do you want to cut? Erbao asked Zhang Yuxi, Mom, do you have any hairstyles for girls? Zhang Yuxi found a list of girls' hairstyles for her. After careful selection, Erbao chose a bob with bangs. Raymond Lam reminded Erbao, your hair is curly, so this may not be suitable. Erbao said that she wanted this one no matter what. After struggling for a long time, Raymond Lam finally cut the effect that Erbao wanted. How to say it? Pseudo bob, curly hair is also very beautiful. Erbao looked around, and Zhang Yuxi was worried that she would be unhappy. He quickly flattered her, wow, Erbao looks so cute. Come on, put on a small hairpin, it will be even cuter. Erbao comforted himself a little and said, well, not bad. Lin Feng asked Sanbao, do you want to cut your hair? Sanbao shook her head. She really likes her long hair. The first day of school is Monday, and school uniforms must be arranged. Send the children to school in the morning. The boys with new hairstyles immediately attracted the attention of many classmates. Teacher Lee smiled and said, wow, Dabao looks so handsome today. Dabao was so happy, Dad cut it. Teacher Lee smiled and said, Dad is great too. Sibao, who was following behind, asked, Teacher, what about me? Wow, Sibao looks handsome today too, this hairstyle suits you very well. Sibao looked chubby and knew at a glance that he was a well-behaved and sensible child. Therefore, Teacher Lee spoke much more gently to this little cutie. Sibao, is this also cut by Dad? Sibao is so handsome. Sibeo pursed his lips and smiled shyly. Just when Urbeo appeared with curly hair, Teacher Li's expression froze visibly. Urbeo has a lot of hair. It used to be slightly curly, but now it's even more curly. It can't be tied up, and after combing it straight for a while, it became curly, and the small hairpin has been buried in the curly hair. Not an ordinary child can't handle this hairstyle that can be called a bird's nest. Teacher Li wanted to laugh but couldn't, so she praised a few words. Sanbeo still has long hair, tied in a small braid, very beautiful. Urbeo put down his small school bag and went back to his seat, where he met Xianshan. Xianshan was dressed cutely today. Staring at Urbeo's hairstyle, she said frankly, "Urbeo, your hair looks like a bird's nest." Urbeo was confused. What the hell? By chance, several children around heard it. Haha, a bird's nest, it's really a bird's nest. Urbeo, your hair really looks like a bird's nest, you can put a little bird in it. Urbeo felt wronged and pouted unhappy. The children didn't mean it, because Urbeo's hairstyle really looks like a bird's nest. Xianshan felt that she had said something wrong, so she quickly went to comfort Urbeo. Urbeo felt better. I don't know how, Urbeo's bird's nest hair spread throughout the class. So annoying, even the heartless Sibeo got involved. The last class was taught by Teacher Li. She knew that the kids were just joking and it was nothing. Urbeo will be unhappy if you do this. After explaining the reason for a long time, the kids apologized to Urbeo one after another, saying that they shouldn't laugh at her hair. Urbeo also laughed. At noon, Lin Feng picked up the kids and found out about this. He asked Urbeo with concern, "Are you still angry now?" Urbeo shook his head, "No." They all apologized, after dinner and a nap. When sending the kids to school, Lin Feng took good care of Urbeo's hair. Horizontal ellipsis. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 345, Your Husband is Always With You. In a blink of an eye, a week passed and it was Women's Day. The class gave each child 2 flowers. Let the children go back and give them to their mothers or grandmothers to say thank you for your hard work. Lin Feng saw the children holding flowers in their hands, so he went to the yard to pick a few flowers and gave them to Zhang Yuxi as a gift. The flowers in the yard. They were the flower seeds left over from last semester, scattered in the yard, and they grew by themselves. Lin Feng thought that when the weather got warmer, he would clean up the yard and plant flowers. As soon as Zhang Yuxi got home in the afternoon, the children couldn't wait to come out with flowers. The children said in unison, "Mom, happy Women's Day, you've worked hard." Zhang Yuxi was surprised and happy, accepted the flowers from the children, and kissed their little faces. "Thank you, children, thank you." Lin Feng, who was standing behind the children, took out 3 flowers from behind. "Wife, happy Women's Day." Zhang Yuxi recognized that these were flowers in the yard at a glance. Taking the flowers, she raised her eyebrows slightly. "Thank you, husband." On the dining table, of course, were Zhang Yuxi's favorite meals. While the children were playing in the living room, Lin Feng came over and whispered, "Wife, I'll give you a gift tonight." Zhang Yuxi didn't know him yet. She smiled and waved her hands. "Husband, don't spend money, I appreciate your kindness." Lin Feng nodded, "Okay." Unexpectedly, in the evening, Zhang Yuxi, liar. Arbor Day is here in a blink of an eye. The day before, the teacher said that he would take the children to the mountains to plant trees. The school has prepared tools such as saplings and kettles. Considering environmental factors, the teacher suggested that parents wear rain boots for the children. There is no class in the morning, and they will gather at the school gate at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There is no need to prepare anything. The teacher took the children to the car and set off. It was still time for school to end, and parents came to the school to pick up their children. And Lin Feng began to take care of the yard. After working all afternoon, he cleared the weeds. At this time, an old gardener passing by stopped and asked, "Are you tidying up the yard?" This old man was the one who picked up leaves and gave them science education last time. Lin Feng smiled and said, "Yes, I plan to plant some flowers and plants." The old man suggested, "Your yard is big, why not plant some fruit trees, such as orange trees and plum trees?" Lin Feng's yard has a free area, and the car is parked in the warehouse, unlike other people who park at the door for convenience. Therefore, Lin Feng's yard has a lot of space that can be used. He has never thought about how to tidy up the yard. In addition, the children are young and there is no time. Now that the babies are in school, he has extra time. He only thought about raising some flowers and plants, but never thought about planting some fruit trees. Lin Feng said with a smile, "Thank you, old man. I would not have thought of it if you hadn't said it." The old man chuckled, "I have these trees. I will bring them to you when you are free." Lin Feng thought for a moment, "I am free this Saturday. How about you, old man? Let's see when you are free." "I am free for everything. I will bring them to you this Saturday." "Okay, thank you, old man." "What? Just a few fruit trees?" After a pause, the old man said, "Don't clean up this yard yet. I will come over on Saturday and finish it for you in a few minutes." Lin Feng thanked him for his enthusiasm. "Okay, thank you in advance." The old man smiled and left. Lin Feng looked at the time. It was 4:40. It was time to pick up the children. As soon as Lin Feng arrived, he saw the school bus coming. In the car, the babies were so happy. It seems that they had a very meaningful time in today's tree planting activity. As soon as they got on the bus, the babies talked to Lin Feng about what happened today. After returning home, Lin Feng asked the babies to wash their hands while he steamed buns. When Zhang Yuxi came back, the babies shared with her today's tree planting activity. "Mom, every one of us planted a sapling today. We even named them." Zhang Yuxi asked, "Really? What names did you give them?" Dabao shouted loudly, "Mine is called Superman. I hope it grows up quickly." Erbao said, "Mine is called Mio. Sibao, my name is awesome. It's called the #1 tree in the universe." Zhang Yuxi couldn't help but burst out laughing. "Ha ha ha, this name is really awesome." Sanbao smiled and said, "I called it Chihuahua. I hope it will bloom in the future." These are the little babies. Each one is innocent and cute. In the evening, Lin Feng told Zhang Yuxi about his plans for Saturday. Zhang Yuxi thought it was a great idea. Lin Feng also said one more thing. "Next week, I will sleep in a separate bed from the babies." The couple said before the new year that they would let the babies sleep by themselves, but they didn't have the heart to do it. There was no snoring of the babies at night, and they were not used to waking up without the babies. It's been about a week since school started, and it's time for the babies to learn to sleep on their own. Moreover, this requires a process. Zhang Yuxi sighed reluctantly. The children have grown up a little bit. Every time the baby completes a step of independent growth, it means that they are a little further away from their parents. Lin Feng coaxed her, "Husband is always with you." Zhang Yuxi hummed softly. On Saturday, Zhang Yuxi took the babies to Lin's house. Lin Feng stayed at home to plant trees. The old man didn't say what they were. He just asked Lin Feng to dig holes, plant trees, and water them. These are all old trees, with strong survival ability, and the fruits they bear are sweet. This time, 8 trees were brought, 6 trees were planted around the edge of the yard, and 2 of the largest trees were planted on both sides. All of a sudden, the yard was full of plants. It looked pretty good. After finishing the work, Lin Feng invited the old man to go back to the house to sit down and drink some water and eat something. The old man waved his hand. "No, my shoes are all covered in dirt, and they made the house dirty." Lin Feng frowned. "It's okay." The old man said stubbornly, No, I'll come to see you every now and then. I'm leaving now." Despite Lin Feng's repeated attempts to keep him, the old man still left. Zhang Yuxi and the children came back in the evening and were very satisfied with the yard. "Honey, what is this?" "I don't know," the old man didn't say. "What about this?" "Well, I'm not sure either. I'll check it online later." "Forget it, it's more interesting to have a sense of anticipation." Chapter 346 in Lin's fetal movement. Some of the trees that the old man brought have already blossomed. When passing by the yard, you can still smell the faint fragrance of flowers. This Saturday, after a week of preparation with the babies, the topic of sleeping alone was finally officially implemented. Dabao and Sibao live together, and Erbao and Sanbao have separate rooms. Erbao is fine, but the couple is most worried about Sanbao. Let's start with a nap to let the babies adapt in advance. Dabao and Sibao are fine, lying happily on their own cribs. Dabao and Sibao's boats are in the shape of cars, and they are painted in various colors, which are very beautiful. Lin Feng turned on the air conditioner and covered them with quilts. Do you know if you need to call Dad? Here is a phone, press 1 and Dad will come. Dabao and Sabao nodded obediently. I know, Dad. Lin Feng is not worried about anything else except that he is not honest when sleeping. The middle is Sanbao's room. Because he sleeps alone, Lin Feng specially arranged the middle room, hoping that she will feel safe. Lin Feng even specially asked Dabao to accompany him. Let Dabao accompany you today. If you have anything, use this phone to call Daddy, okay? Sanbao nodded. Lin Feng kissed her forehead. Be good and sleep. Finally, he came to Erbao's room. The little princess was having fun. Be good, go to sleep quickly, and play after getting up. Erbao and Sanbao's beds are both little princess-style carved beds. In order to prevent them from rolling down while sleeping, one side of the bed is against the wall, and the other side is covered with thick carpet. After coaxing the two little princesses to sleep, he quietly closed the door. He stood at each door for a while. After making sure that the babies were sleeping well and not playing secretly, he went to take a nap with peace of mind. The babies' naps are about an hour. Lin Feng only needs to sleep for half an hour. After getting up, Lin Feng began to make soy milk for the babies with a soy milk machine. After doing all this, he looked at the time and it was time to wake up the babies. The babies took a nap alone, and they performed well one by one. The next highlight is to watch the night. Lin Feng left a small light on for them, and the lights in the corridor and bathroom were also on. He also put their small toilet in the room so that they could use it if they didn't want to go out. Zhang Yuxi was worried about the children and couldn't sleep well at night. Honey, I'll go see if the babies are sleeping well and whether they are kicking the quilt. I'll go, you lie down. No, I'll go with you. Gently opening the door, Dabao and Sabao were indeed not sleeping well. Dabao was better, but he was not covered with a quilt. Sabao had more tricks when sleeping. He lay on the pillow, holding his little butt, and the quilt fell to the ground. It was funny and distressing to see. Fortunately, the air conditioner was turned on and it was warm, so he didn't catch a cold. When it came to Erbao and Sanbao, I saw Erbao sleeping against the wall. I don't know how she did it, and her legs were also on the wall. Lin Feng had just put Erbao away, and she rolled over and pressed against the wall again. Lin Feng had no choice but to cover her with a quilt. Sanbao was sleeping well with a doll in her arms, just as the couple was about to leave. Sanbao squinted and saw Lin Feng. Dad, be good, go to sleep. Lin Feng turned back and coaxed Sanbao to sleep. Sanbao was dazed and didn't know where she was sleeping. She turned over and fell asleep again. Lin Feng covered her with a blanket and quietly left the room. Zhang Yuxi yawned, went back to lie down for a while and fell asleep. In the middle of the night, when it was almost dawn, Dabao ran over crying. Lin Feng was startled, and Zhang Yuxi woke up too. Dabao whimpered, Dad, I can't find the toilet. Lin Feng saw that Dabao had wet his pants, so he hurried to change his son's pants. Today, he woke up because he had to pee, and Dabao was confused and didn't remember where he was. When he saw the small toilet next to the bed, he had already peed. Dabao was startled and ran over. Lin Feng held him and coaxed him for a while. Dabao said shyly, Dad, this is our secret, okay? Lin Feng was a little surprised. It turns out that he knows how to save face at such a young age. Okay, this is our little secret, Dad won't tell anyone. Dabao smiled. Come on, Dad will take you back to your room. Dabao was lying on the bed, looking at Lin Feng who was tidying up the bed, and said with self-blame. Dad, I'm sorry, I won't pee in my pants next time. Lin Feng felt distressed and relieved that his son was sensible. Dad is not angry, I know Dabao didn't mean it. Next time when you want to pee, don't hold it in. Dabao nodded. Here, Sabao was tossing and turning, which seemed a bit strange. Lin Feng checked the bed and found that he didn't pee. But he was probably going to pee like this. So he woke up Sabao and took him to the bathroom on the second floor to pee. Sabao yawned and felt much more energetic. Lin Feng frowned, it's still early, sleep a little longer. Sabao lay back with a pout, and soon fell asleep in a daze. And Dabao had fallen asleep long ago. Lin Feng went to Erbao and Sanbao's room again. Wake them up to pee. Sanbao used Lin Feng's hand as a pillow and fell asleep sweetly. After she fell asleep, Lin Feng gently pulled his hand out and left the room. Well, he can still sleep for half an hour to get up and cook. After Lin Feng made breakfast, he woke up Zhang Yuxi. As soon as Zhang Yuxi woke up, She went downstairs to wake up the babies. In the early spring, the babies wore pajamas at home, which were much thinner than winter pajamas. But it was convenient for children to wear. After Zhang Yuxi woke them up one by one, she asked them to get dressed. She waited for them in the bathroom to wash their faces and brush their teeth. The children used small handkerchiefs and towels, and lined up to wash their faces and brush their teeth. Zhang Yuxi supervised them to see if they could do it independently. Well, their faces were not washed clean, and some of them were not serious about brushing their teeth. Generally speaking, it was still good. After all, they were only more than 3 years old, and we couldn't ask too much. Zhang Yuxi took them to the dining room for breakfast. Lin Feng had already served the meal. Dinner is ready. Lin Feng was very satisfied with sleeping alone on the first night. I believe that everything will go smoothly in the future. What to do during the vacation? Bring the child to see Lan. Lan is about 7 months pregnant and already has a big belly. This time, Lan was feeling uncomfortable. After going to the hospital for a checkup, they found that the fetus was around the navel. This scared the couple. The doctor comforted them and told them to come to the hospital for checkups more often. He also gave them a fetal heart rate monitor. They can also pay attention to the number of fetal movements. If the number suddenly decreases, they must come to the hospital for a checkup immediately. Liu Bo and Lan are both first-time parents. The number of words in the previous Down syndrome screening was a bit high, which scared the couple out of their wits. After that, they did a puncture and other tests, which showed that there was no problem and everything was normal. It wasn't long since they relaxed, and today they checked that the fetus was around the navel. This scared the two of them half to death. Although the doctor told them that it was not a big problem. Lan's mother took the checkup list to the authoritative obstetrician and gynecologist in Shanghai, and he also said that it was not a big deal. But the couple was still very worried. Especially Lan, who tested the fetal heart rate every 2 hours. She counted the fetal movements every 3 hours, and she had lost a lot of weight. Lin Feng came over to feel her pulse and said that it was not a big problem. Lan frowned. You all said it's not a big problem, but I'm worried. It's just a mother's instinct. Not only that, she also followed a doctor's advice and exercised more. She hoped that the baby could move around in her belly and get the umbilical cord out. Zhang Yuxi hugged her and said she understood. Lan's due date was during the holiday in May. Zhang Yuxi promised her that she would not go anywhere and would accompany her to give birth. Lan printed out a form that recorded the number of fetal movements and fetal heart rates every day. Zhang Yuxi felt sorry for her. Lan touched her belly. I love this child more and more. She whispered, when I was taking the color ultrasound, I saw his little JJ, it's a boy. She was willing to let fate take it for a son or a daughter. She just felt so great when she saw the little JJ on the display. Chapter 347, Long-Awaited System Reward. After returning from Lan, Zhang Yuxi couldn't help but recall the hardships she had when she was pregnant. When Lin Feng saw Lan's belly today, he couldn't help but think of Zhang Yuxi's situation. Some people have big bellies when they are pregnant, while others look small. I was the latter at that time. It's very uncomfortable to feel uncomfortable. I feel full after a few bites because my stomach is pressed against me. But I want to eat again. I have to eat many meals a day. Lin Feng asked, didn't I lose the prenatal checkup form before? Zhang Yuxi thought for a while. The move was too slow at that time. I remember taking it with me, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Lin Feng didn't see it when he was sorting it out. I saw the 4-dimensional color ultrasound of Lan's baby that day, and I really wanted to see the 4 treasures, the photos of them still in the belly. At night, the 3rd treasure pulled Lin Feng and wouldn't let him go. Dad, wait until the 3rd treasure falls asleep before you leave, okay? Lin Feng certainly had no objection. Okay, Dad will wait until you fall asleep. Lin Feng sat on the edge of the bed with his head resting on Lin Feng's legs. Dad, you are the best dad in the world. Sanbao loves you the most. Lin Feng smiled, enjoying Sanbao's love for him. Alice, the girl will get married in the future. Thinking of this, he felt depressed. Sanbao fell asleep in a daze, and Lin Feng waited until she fell asleep before leaving the room. When Dabao had to pee, it was almost dawn. Lin Feng asked them to go to the toilet one by one. After the 3-year-old babies pee, they don't know how to wipe their butts. Lin Feng tried to teach them, but found that their pajamas were too thick in winter, let alone wiping their butts. They couldn't even touch them. So, Now that the weather is warm, he has to teach them to wipe their butts. The children's toilet is no longer suitable for them. There is only one small toilet in the bathroom on the second floor, which is not enough for the 4 treasures. Lin Feng called Boss Luo and planned to add another small toilet in the bathroom. Now Lan's child is about to be born, and Boss Luo is still single. After checking, he said with certainty, "This is convenient. It will be completed in less than 3 days." Lin Feng was surprised, so fast. Boss Luo smiled and said, "You have a water pipe here. I guess you wanted to get a toilet at the beginning. Just buy a toilet. Maybe it won't take 3 days." Sure enough, it took less than 3 days to complete the task. The boy has a blue curtain and the girl has a pink curtain. The waterproof curtain solved the problem. Lin Feng made up his mind to let the babies learn to wipe their pee-pee by themselves this summer. After about half a month, the babies were finally able to sleep by themselves. Even Sanbao didn't need Lin Feng to accompany him. He hugged the Barbie doll and went to sleep. He thought Sanbao would be lonely sleeping alone. In fact, Sanbao liked his own room very much, so he was worrying too much. That night, the system, which had not appeared for a long time, appeared again. Ling, because the host lets the babies sleep independently and fulfills his responsibilities as a father, he will be rewarded with 5 million yuan in cash. Reward. 88th floor, Century Building Office Building. Guangzhou's landmark building, a nationally renowned architectural design, Century Building. Century Building office buildings are calculated in US dollars per square meter. The rent of each floor is easily hundreds of millions of US dollars a year. As a first-tier city in a landmark office building, you can imagine how much money Raymond Lam can make in a year. And with an auspicious number like 88 floors, it must be even more expensive. Raymond Lam checked online. The company located on the 88th floor of Century Building. Broad Real Estate Limited Branch. Broad is a very well-known real estate developer in China. 1/4 of the buildings are built by them, and no one doesn't know Broad. Broad's head office is in Beijing. There are 3 branches. One of them is in Guangzhou. Along with the system's rewards, the children discovered some of the trees planted in the yard have borne fruit. Small and cute. Raymond Lam had an idea and found an album and a Polaroid camera. Record all this with the babies. Lin Feng asked with a smile, "Let's guess what kind of fruit it will bear, okay?" The babies nodded heavily. Lin Feng touched their heads. It's great to have expectations. However, another tree actually bloomed. Everyone knows this flower. Peach blossom. The babies rushed to ask, "Dad, will there be peaches? Will we eat peaches?" Lin Feng said with a smile, "It's blooming, so it should bear peaches. But we have to wait slowly." The babies clapped their hands and were so happy. At the end of April, when the due date was approaching, the doctor said, "There is no umbilical cord anymore." And Lan cried in front of the hospital at that time. Zhang Yuxi also breathed a sigh of relief. The small fruits in the yard changed every day, and finally formed into the shape of small apples. The babies looked forward to the day when the small apples and peaches grew up and matured. On the other hand, Anlan's due date was approaching. Anlan's parents came to Yangcheng to accompany their daughter, and Anlan's mother was watching. Anlan was afraid of pain and had an instinctive fear of giving birth. Zhang Yuxi comforted Anlan. In fact, giving birth is not very painful. It hurts for a while and then you are relieved. When you see the baby, you will feel that everything is worth it. The due date was 2 days later, and the doctor said to wait a little longer. If the baby doesn't move, wait for a cesarean section. That night, she was video chatting with Zhang Yuxi. The doctor said that it depends on whether the baby moves in the next 2 days. If not, there is no time to wait. Cesarean section. At the hospital, the beds are ready. And Lan sighed in the video, "How can I say it? Before, between cesarean section and natural birth, for the sake of the baby, I gritted my teeth and chose natural birth. I did ideological work for many days, but in the end, the baby didn't come. Maybe I will have a cesarean section. I don't know if it's a critical moment, I'm not panicking at all, how come I'm as steady as an old dog? Maybe, all the worries and anxieties. When facing the results, they are no longer important." Behind Anlan, there are busy people. They have already started to pack things for hospitalization. Whether it is natural birth or cesarean section, they have to be hospitalized. There is no need to buy clothes, bottles, diapers, etc. for the child. This is what my family sells. Zhang Yuxi couldn't help but envy. The scene of giving birth in the hospital alone. In that environment, no one was there to accompany her, which was the only regret in her heart. Suddenly, Anlan's face in the video changed suddenly. She looked down and then looked at Zhang Yuxi. Zhang Yuxi's heart tightened. What's wrong? Anlan said blankly, I think my water broke. Anlan's mother came over and saw it. Her face changed slightly, and she turned her head and shouted, Liu Bo, bring the things, and wake up your dad. Let's go to the hospital. Anlan is about to give birth. It was 9 o'clock in the evening, and the babies were all asleep. Lin Feng hung up the video and started to get dressed. Husband, I'll go to the hospital to take a look, and I'll leave the house to you first. Lin Feng sent her out. Drive slowly, call me when you get there. Zhang Yuxi kissed him, okay. After that, she hurried out and drove away. The hospital is not far from here, and it takes about 20 minutes to drive there. Zhang Yuxi had accompanied her to the prenatal checkup, so she came to the obstetrics and gynecology department familiarly. Anlan's amniotic fluid flow was not much, and it had stopped when she arrived at the hospital. On the way to the hospital, Anlan began to have labor pains. Chapter 348, the pain will last for a while and then the baby will be born. When they arrived at the hospital, Anlan needed Liu Bo to carry her to move forward. The nurse gave her a wheelchair. She had to push the wheelchair to do B ultrasound, electrocardiogram, etc. It was more than half an hour after the examination. Anlan's labor pains started from 15 minutes, and the frequency was getting faster and faster. Now she has a labor pain every 10 minutes. This kind of labor pain is almost life-threatening, and Anlan cried in pain. When Zhang Yuxi came, she happened to hear what the nurse said. The nurse was also a person who had seen the world. While examining Anlan, she said, when the frequency of labor pains reaches once every 2 minutes, once every minute, you can give birth. Don't cry this time, save your energy for giving birth. Anlan's tears just hung on her face, looking at Zhang Yuxi pitifully. Zhang Yuxi coaxed her, it's okay, it will be born after a while of pain. Liu Bo ran up and down to get the test reports, pay the fees, etc. Because sometimes it is inconvenient for Anlan's father to do the examination, so he can only wait outside the door. Anlan's mother and Zhang Yuxi comforted their daughter. This is a double room. Less than a minute after Anlan lay down, the doctor came to check on the next door nurse and said that she could be sent to the delivery room. Less than half an hour after she lay down, the family had already brought the child. Anlan was shocked. She gave birth. The family member was an old lady, and she didn't know if it was her grandmother or her grandmother. Holding her little grandson, she smiled and said, yes, she gave birth a short while after she was sent to the delivery room. You haven't given birth yet? It's almost there, you will be so fast soon. Anlan thought that she would probably be so fast too. About 20 minutes. The mother, accompanied by her husband and the nurse, lay back on the bed. On this side, the frequency of labor pains has now reached once every 5 minutes. Anlan. After a while, the doctor came to check and said that she would probably give birth in an hour. The clinician has already started to prepare milk powder for the baby. And the other mother is not strong at all, she is thin. Anlan felt that it was a waste of her body shape. This was learned when Anlan's mother was chatting with the other mother. As soon as the child's mother started to work, she had just been admitted to the hospital for less than 5 minutes before entering the delivery room. In other words, she was only admitted to the hospital a little earlier than Anlan. Anlan's inner OS, son, can I say bad words? An hour passed, and the mother's milk was opened. The baby had eaten the first mouthful of breast milk, but Anlan hadn't given birth yet. So angry. Everyone comforted her, and Anlan was anxious at this time, but there was nothing she could do. Finally, the doctor gave her an injection to induce labor. Anlan cursed fuck in pain. After the injection, she was sent to the delivery room in less than 10 minutes. Liu Bo's mother called and asked you if her daughter-in-law had given birth. No, she just entered the delivery room. I'll call you when she gives birth. Everyone waited and waited. In addition to them, other mothers' families were also waiting. Finally, after nearly half an hour, the child was carried out. The nurse asked, who is Anlan's family member? Liu Bo stepped forward, I am Anlan's husband. The nurse handed the baby in the cradle to him with a smile. Congratulations, it's a boy, 18 pounds. Other family members also sent congratulations. Anlan's mother suddenly remembered that she had red envelopes in her bag. She gave each of them a red envelope. It's mutual, let's celebrate. The baby was red and sleeping. Zhang Yuxi's heart softened when she saw it, and she told Lin Feng the good news. At this time, Lan came out of the delivery room. She leaned weakly on the nurse, her face pale. Zhang Yuxi and Liu Bo hurried over and helped her back to the ward. The other family member smiled and asked, "Congratulations, is it a boy or a girl?" Lan's mother smiled and said, "Boy." Lan was placed on the bed and explained to the nurse who came over. She told Lan not to eat now, and she could only eat after the gas was discharged. And now she had to feed the baby, and the nurse would come to help Lan to start breastfeeding. During this period, she had to do basic routine checks on the baby. When Lan was pregnant, she ate very well and was white and plump. When the nurse came to start breastfeeding, it was painful. After the routine checkup of the baby, she was handed to Lan to breastfeed. The nurse said, "It will be painful at first, but it will pass if you bear it. You must let the baby drink. No instrument is as useful as a baby." The nurse reminded the family members when she left, "Go give the baby a bath between 8:30 and 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The place is on the 3rd floor. Press the bell if you feel uncomfortable. If you are hungry, you can drink some water, but you can't eat. You must wait until the gas is discharged before you can eat. Do you understand?" After the busy work, several people can finally rest. "You can stay with the patient here." Lan's mother said that she would stay to accompany him, and let Liu Bo and others go to rest. "The baby is just born and very tender, with small arms and legs. Let me take care of him for a few days. You take care of him later, I won't argue with you." She turned around and said to Zhang Yuxi, "Yuxi, I'll ask your uncle Lin to take you back. It's already late at night." Zhang Yuxi nodded, "Okay, I'll ask Lin Feng to make some milk-promoting medicine tomorrow." Lan's mother didn't delay, "Okay." After she left, Lan's mother looked at her daughter's haggard face. "Go to sleep, Mom is here, tell Mom if you need anything." Lan shook her head, "I don't know why, I'm not sleepy at all, but very energetic." She glanced at her son and said proudly, "I said I was pregnant with a son. I saw it on the 4-dimensional color ultrasound at the time." Lan's mother smiled, "Yes, yes, you are the best." After a pause, she said, "Mom has found a confinement nanny for you, and I'll pay for it." Lan frowned, "Why? Your daughter has money, you don't have to pay." Lan's mother rolled her eyes at her, "It's just a few thousand yuan." She couldn't help but start complaining about her daughter again. "I asked you to give birth in a confinement center before, it only cost a few 100,000, but you disagreed. What's wrong? Are you worried about the money? I used to see you spend money without blinking an eye." Lan said with a smile, "From pregnancy to delivery, everything was done in this hospital, just for convenience." Lan's mother laughed, "You are my daughter, I didn't know you were just trying to save money." Alice, a daughter who is married off, is like water spilled out. Seeing her daughter putting up with herself like this, Lan's mother felt helpless and distressed. Her daughter has grown up after all. Lan's mother was guarding this side, and her mother was also guarding the other side. The man went back to get something. Lan fell asleep while talking. She didn't feel hungry, but she felt very tired. In the middle of the night, around 4 or 5 in the morning, Lan passed gas. This gas woke her up from hunger. "Mom, I'm hungry." Lan said pitifully. Lan's mother felt sorry for her daughter. "Where can you get food at this time? I'll call Liu Bo and ask him to make some for you." Then she couldn't help complaining, "You said, it would be great to go to a confinement center." Lan acted coquettishly, "Okay, Mom, stop talking. You can't say this in front of Liu Bo anymore. You found a confinement center, it costs 10,000 a day, and 600,000 for 2 months. This time Liu Bo and his parents agreed with me going, it's just that I don't want to go." She was alone and didn't think much of spending money. But after having a child, she thought about saving it for her son's schooling and marrying a wife. After all, raising a child costs money. Lan's mother was helpless. Okay, I won't say it." "Hey, Lin Feng called me." After the call was connected, Lin Feng said that he had cooked porridge and asked Lan if she wanted to eat. Lan's mother was so moved that she almost cried. "Good child, Lan is hungry now. Please send it over." Chapter 349, Addicted to Eating? After hanging up the phone, Liu Bo also called to ask if Lan was hungry. He had already started cooking. To be honest, she felt uncomfortable seeing her daughter suffer during childbirth. No matter whether her son-in-law was wrong or not, Liu Bo felt much better now. No need, you can send it over tomorrow morning. Lin Feng is ready to send it. After a while, Lin Feng drove the car with several lunch boxes. He cooked fish tofu soup, poached eggs, porridge, etc. He didn't know what Lan would eat, so he made some of them, and the portions were very large. Lin Feng went to the baby's crib and looked at the sleeping child. He couldn't help but recall the scene of his first meeting with the four treasures. They were also small, soft, and fragrant. Lin Feng's only regret was that he didn't accompany Zhang Yuxi from pregnancy to childbirth. He let her bear it all alone. The mother in the next bed also woke up and felt hungry when she smelled the food. The meal she ate was from the hospital cafeteria. Her child was considered premature, but he was not light when he was born, weighing 6.2 jin. Because they were in such a hurry, the family didn't prepare anything. Mom, I'm hungry too. What should I do if I'm hungry? I don't have anywhere to find food for you at night. Then he said, bear with it for a while. When it's done and the canteen opens, I'll get you some food. And Lan said, I have a lot of food here. I'll give you some. She felt hungry, but she couldn't eat much. The other party was greedy, thank you. During this time, the baby cried, and Lin Feng skillfully checked the diaper. The diaper was clean, probably because it was hungry. He held the baby and gave it to Lan. And Lan took the baby from Lin Feng's hands, a little at a loss. This was her first time holding a baby, and she had been lying down before. Lin Feng taught her how to hold it. And Lan got the hang of it as soon as she held it, which might be the instinct of motherhood. Lin Feng closed the curtain for her to feed, and he began to prepare the lunchbox. Tell me if you want to eat anything, I'll make it and send it to you. Deal. You can leave after 3 or 4 days of hospitalization for a normal birth, unlike a week of hospitalization for a cesarean section. On the other side, Lin Feng returned home and went to the children's room to cover the babies with small quilts. Back in the master bedroom, Zhang Yuxi rolled into his arms. Hubby, you've worked hard. Lin Feng hugged her, his heart full of tenderness. Zhang Yuxi fell asleep again in a daze. After lunch, Lin Feng made pig's trotters and peanut soup, sweet and sour pork ribs, and stir-fried pork liver. Let Zhang Yuxi take them to the hospital. The babies learned that Lan had given birth to a baby and clamored to go to the hospital. Zhang Yuxi shook her head. No, the baby is still too young. When we go home in a few days, we will go to the godmother's house to see it. The babies were so disappointed, their little faces fell one by one, and they were unhappy. Lin Feng smiled and said, how about this, when mom arrives at the hospital, can we video chat? The babies became happy again. Zhang Yuxi arrived at the ward, and Lan's mother was not there this time. After asking, I found out that she was arranging the confinement nanny at home and cleaning the house. Liu Bo and Lan's father were there. And Lan's father had been sitting for the whole morning, waiting for Zhang Yuxi to come, and was about to leave. This place was handed over to Liu Bo. And Lan drooled with greed. Yuxi, you and President Lin are really my little angels. Lin Feng's stewed peanut pig's trotter soup was milky white and smelled fragrant. The trotters were all thin, with not much skin. I'm starving, I'm going to eat. Zhang Yuxi said, Lin Feng has made your portion as well. Liu Bo smiled and said, thank you, Brother Feng, I'll eat after Lan finishes eating. As he was talking, the baby started crying, and Liu Bo hurriedly went to deal with it. Seeing Liu Bo's frightened face, Zhang Yuxi couldn't help laughing. Let me do it. Zhang Yuxi familiarly changed the baby's diaper, and then washed her butt. Then she held the baby and fed Lan. Babies are impatient and cry when they are hungry. And Lan took her son from Zhang Yuxi and said coquettishly, you said that as a father, you can't do anything. Liu Bo was helpless. There is no way, this baby is too fragile, I am afraid that if I am not careful, he will get hurt, what should I do? And Lan couldn't eat because she was breastfeeding, so Liu Bo fed her. I want to eat ribs, Mr. Lin's ribs are really appetizing. And Lan was full, and the baby was full too. Now the baby's stomach is as small as a glass bead, and it can't eat much. Zhang Yuxi put the child back in the crib. Then she remembered that she wanted to make a video call to the 4 babies. Zhang Yuxi pointed the camera at the baby. Look, this is the baby born by the godmother. The 4 babies were amazed. My little brother is sleeping. Yes, my little brother just finished drinking milk. He looks so small. Well, my little brother was very small when he was just born, and he will grow up slowly. You were like this when you were just born. Mom, I want my godmother to give me a little sister so that we can play with Barbie dolls together. The godmother can't decide whether it's a little brother or a little sister. Whether it's a boy or a girl, it's a gift to the parents. Doesn't he know anything now? Yes, he's still too young. While chatting, the baby yawned, and the babies found that he had no teeth. Zhang Yuxi smiled. In a few months, the teeth will grow out. After hanging up the phone, Lan teased, the four treasures like children very much? Do you want to consider having one? Zhang Yuxi shook her head. 4 is enough. At this time, Liu Bo started to eat. Zhang Yuxi noticed the situation in the next bed. Dad takes care of adults, and the elderly take care of children. How to say it, whether taking care of adults or children, they are all rough. You can say they are clumsy. For example, now, the elderly change the baby's clothes, and they are newly bought and not washed. This won't do. The baby's skin is very delicate. Zhang Yuxi brought them 2 sets of baby sets, frowning. Put this on the baby. The new one you bought hasn't been rinsed. The baby will be uncomfortable wearing it. The old man was a little embarrassed. How embarrassing. Take it. Then Zhang Yuxi asked the man to wash the newly bought baby clothes and take them outside to dry. Such small clothes should be dry tonight. At the very least, they can be dry tomorrow. When Zhang Yuxi gets angry, she will unconsciously turn on her aura. She also speaks in an imperative tone, making people dare not resist. The old man explained awkwardly, our daughter-in-law was born prematurely, and we bought it at the last minute. Zhang Yuxi said lightly. After all, these things must be prepared in advance. Giving birth is not a trivial matter. After that, Zhang Yuxi glanced at the baby sleeping in the crib and sighed in her heart. Lan pulled her hand. Will you bring me food tonight? Zhang Yuxi asked, what's wrong, are you addicted to eating? Lan pouted, don't you know Mr. Lin's cooking skills? Zhang Yuxi smiled, what do you want to eat tonight? I'll send a message to Lin Feng. Lan smiled and hugged Zhang Yuxi coquettishly, I'm fine with anything. Zhang Yuxi pushed her away, go away, you're a mother. Lan said shamelessly, I don't care. Chapter 350 Godmother's Milk Powder. Just then, the nurse came to check the situation and saw Lan lying down. Don't lie down. Get out of bed and walk around, so you can recover faster. Zhang Yuxi helped Lan walk down the bed. Lan was still in a little pain because of the wound on her side. At this time, Lan was wearing a thick hat and thick slippers. Oh, I pray that the temperature won't rise in the next 1 or 2 months, otherwise how can I get through this confinement period? Zhang Yuxi asked, where's your mother-in-law? She was busy killing chickens yesterday and today, and it's probably coming soon. Since Lan became pregnant, Liu Bo's parents have fed more than 70 chickens and more than 20 ducks. There are countless eggs, and they are all fed in the countryside. Lan was very touched by this thought. Every other week, Liu Bo was asked to go back and bring a few chickens and ducks. A few on Zhang Yuxi's side and a few on his daughter-in-law's side. After walking around the room, Lan said she wanted to go to the toilet. There was a bathroom in the ward. Zhang Yuxi took her in and took care of her going to the toilet. After coming out, Lan was a little unhappy. No one wants to stay in the hospital for a long time. Seeing that Liu Bo had finished eating, Lan was a little unhappy. Husband, go ask the doctor when I can be discharged from the hospital. I want to go home. Liu Bo packed up the lunchbox. Okay, I'll go ask. After a while, the doctor came over. He asked Lan to lie down and pressed her abdomen. Do you feel anything? Lan shook her head. No feeling. Then the doctor asked some other questions and asked her to go for a checkup. If everything is fine, she can be discharged from the hospital before noon tomorrow. Lan was so happy that she almost cried. Zhang Yuxi took her to do B ultrasound, blood test, etc. After getting the test report, she handed it to the doctor, who took a look and said there was nothing wrong. She also specifically reminded him, eat less brown sugar fried eggs, take good care of yourself, and eat light food. If you feel uncomfortable or don't understand, you can call me. I'll go to work tomorrow, just go through the discharge procedures. As soon as Lan returned to the room, she was as happy as a child. I can go home. Liu Bo didn't want to stay in the hospital any longer, so he smiled. Zhang Yuxi picked up the lunchbox. I'll go back first, I'll bring you dinner. Lan looked grateful. Thank you, Yuxi. I won't disturb you tomorrow morning, I'll let my mother bring it over, and we'll go home together. Zhang Yuxi joked, I'm going to class tomorrow, I don't have time to bring you dinner. Back home, Lin Feng has already started preparing dinner, and the babies are playing in the living room. Zhang Yuxi told them a good news. Tomorrow you can go to your godmother's house to see your brother. The babies were very happy. Lin Feng's voice came from the kitchen. Can you be discharged tomorrow? Well, the doctor said there's no big problem, and you can go through the discharge procedures before noon. When they came to the kitchen, Zhang Yuxi hugged him from behind. Hubby, you've worked hard. Lin Feng laughed. One is your best friend, and the other is my brother. It's just cooking a few meals, so it's not hard work. Lin Feng made walnut porridge. Soak the walnuts in water and peel them to avoid bitterness. Pull them and grind them into fine powder. When the porridge is 80% cooked, add the walnut powder. When it's out of the pot, add some black sesame seeds. Stir-fried seasonal vegetables and kimchi made by Lin Feng himself. In the evening, Lan smelled the porridge. It smells so good. Lin Feng made many kinds of confinement meals, with good taste and large portions. Lin Feng came to deliver dinner. Lan was envious while eating. Liu Bo said, "What do you want to eat? I can learn to make it for you." Lan sighed. This requires talent. Cooking is also a skill, and it takes talent to be excellent. Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi are two extremes. Lin Feng sat for a while and left after about 8 o'clock. It was almost 9 o'clock when we got home. The babies had already gone to bed, and Zhang Yuxi was writing lesson plans. The afternoon that Lan returned home. After Lin Feng picked up the babies from school, he took them to see their little brother. They gathered around the crib, opened their curious eyes, and talked about the baby. Wow, my little brother's hands are so small. His feet are so small too. The third baby asked Lin Feng, who was standing beside him, Dad, when can my little brother play with us? It will take a while. When my little brother can walk, he can run around with you. The fourth baby smiled and said, I will give him Ultraman toys. The first baby said, let him play with my Transformers too. The second baby said, I can give him my toys too. Lin Feng kissed them. Let's go. Let's not disturb my little brother's sleep. The four babies didn't want to. Dad, we won't talk. We'll just watch my little brother and won't wake him up. Okay. Lin Feng sat on the chair next to him and watched from the side. The four babies were so curious. At this time, the baby cried, and the four babies were a little panicked. They explained to Lin Feng that they didn't do anything. At this time, the confinement nanny came. A string of people followed behind her. Liu Bo's parents brought slaughtered chickens and ducks, local chickens and ducks, and local pork yesterday. They also secretly gave Lan 80,000 yuan. Some of this money was their own, and some was given by their son, who was reluctant to spend it and saved it. Lan couldn't refuse. She called Liu Bo into the room and asked him to return the money to the two old people himself. Lan's mother knew about this and didn't say anything. Lan smiled and said, Mom, don't give me money. Liu Bo and I will give you the money for the confinement nanny. Lan's mother felt warm in her heart. What money do you want to give? I don't have money to give you. Lan smiled. Yes, I won't give you any money. I will give you money to honor you two in the future. The confinement nanny was about 40 years old, a gold medal confinement nanny holding a certificate. From changing the baby's diaper, letting Lan feed the baby, and then burping the baby. Careful and gentle, she also told them how to take care of the baby. Sanbao sat in Lin Feng's arms. Dad, are we like this too? Yes, when you were just born, you were a little smaller than them. But why don't I remember it? Lin Feng was amused. At that time, you ate and slept and ate, all preparing to grow up quickly. Sibao smacked his lips and asked, Dad, is the milk delicious? Lin Feng smiled a little. It's the same as milk powder. Sibao asked, what does milk powder taste like? Before the age of 3, the four babies were still drinking nutritionally balanced milk powder to supplement various vitamins. After the age of 3, they stopped drinking it. Sibao has forgotten the taste of milk powder. Lan burst into laughter when she heard this. Come on, Godmother has some milk powder here, I'll make it for you. The fourth baby followed with a clatter. Then it was the eldest baby, and the second baby also came over. I don't know if the third baby was hungry, but he also followed. The milk powder was prepared before, in case there would not be enough milk after the baby was born. Because the milk was sufficient, it was not used. Lan made a small bowl for each of the four babies. Come, have a taste. The third baby tasted a few sips and stopped drinking it. thinking that the faint milk fragrance had no taste. The second baby drank half and ran away. Dad, the milk powder is not good, it's not sweet. Lin Feng smiled and said, because newborn babies can't eat sweet. The eldest baby drank a small bowl and drank the rest of the second baby's. The fourth baby, gulp. Not only did he drink his own, he also drank the entire bowl of the third baby. And Lan came over, Mr. Lin, your fourth child is amazing. Lin Feng roughly guessed it without Lan saying it. He held his forehead and asked the fourth baby who was walking towards him, is it delicious? Sibao smacked his lips, it's okay, it would be better with some sugar. Lin Feng. I don't know about godmother's milk powder. Does it taste like this? Lan. Lin Feng was completely broken-hearted. Lan burst into laughter when she heard this. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone, see you in the next video.